Welcome to tonight's installment of the Extermitech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. The Montgomery Sports Network is your destination in the River region of Alabama for the best in high school sports coverage. From live broadcasts to full games to on-demand replays to game highlights, it's all right here on the Montgomery Sports Network. As tonight, we are in East Montgomery for a matchup between Alabama Christian Academy and Montgomery Catholic. Before we start off the pregame show and get to the keys to tonight's game, here are a few words from our sponsors.
Extermitech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermitech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermitech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermitech 334-209-4590. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
Montgomery's new at-work station is 96.1 KISS FM. The biggest and best playlist and long sets of non-stop music. 96.1 KISS FM. Just the music you know and love. Montgomery's new at-work radio station.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was reelected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
Experience the history of the first country music superstar and see how Hank Williams transformed country music and sowed the seeds of what was to become American music. Visit the Hank Williams Museum, nestled in historic downtown Montgomery, Alabama. The Hank Williams Museum is one of the top tourist attractions in Alabama. Museum hours are 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday, and 1 to 4 on Sunday. And they offer group rates, AAA, and military discounts.
School yet to be determined.
And welcome back to the Mission Fitness Parisi Speed School Montgomery pregame show here on the Montgomery Sports Network. My name is Kane Young. I'm here with Travis Jerome. Travis, good to have you here tonight as we're back at Montgomery Catholic for what is senior night.
It's really a good night to be here. Good atmosphere for both schools. You've got two schools within 4 miles of each other. Senior night where they're honoring every senior for every fall sport here at Montgomery Catholic.
So we'll take a moment here on the Montgomery Sports Network to thank our sponsors. We'll start off with our title sponsor, Extermitech Pest Control. Locally owned and operated, Extermitech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team voted the best in Montgomery. If you have bugs bugging you, call Extermitech. They have been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Call 334-209-4590. We also like to thank attorney Matt Matthews of protectingalabamaworkers.com. Workers' compensation attorney Matt Matthews has many years of experience litigating workers' compensation cases in Alabama. If you are hurt on the job, he can help you get the benefits you deserve. Visit protectingalabamaworkers.com or call 334-721-4878. We'd also like to thank our pregame show sponsor, Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School of Montgomery, athletes and coaching staffs. If you want your team to train with the best sports performance program in the area, talk to Mission Fitness and Performance, home of the only Parisi Speed School in Alabama. Find out why Parisi Speed School has been the industry leader in sports performance training for 27 years. Located right here in the River Region, call Mission Fitness and Performance 334-318-3639 or visit missionfit.com. We'd also like to thank the Hank Williams Museum. This 6,000 square foot museum is located at 118 Commerce Street. You can take a step back in time and learn about the musical history and life of a Montgomery man who is known as the legendary singer and songwriter Hank Williams. Browse the large gift shop. Groups are always welcomed at the Hank Williams Museum in downtown Montgomery. Chris's Famous Hot Dog. Chris's Famous Hot Dog is back with us again here on the Montgomery Sports Network, celebrating its 102nd year in business in the capital city. Located just steps from the state capitol at 138 Dexter Avenue. Chris's Caters. Have Chris's Hot Dogs at your next meeting or event. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition. Call orders in advance. 334-265-6850. And here's Travis with the rest of our sponsors.
Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks is a local-owned and operated business. They have been in business since 1985 and serve Montgomery and the surrounding counties. Mid-State builds and installs burglar bars, AC guards, hand railings, fencing, storm doors, and more. Make sure to check out the decorative handrails, a true work of art. Call Mid-State at 334-313-9015. Lizona Rosa Mexican Cafe, located at 2838 Zelda Road. Minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. Check out their great build-your-own lunch and dinner selections and updated menus. Make Lizona Rosa your choice for authentic Tex-Mex and Salvadorian cuisine. Open Monday through Saturday. Call 334-274-1153. Delta Printing and Sign Company opened in 1979 and is still local and family owned. As a second-generation business, they have stayed true to their roots. They get to know their customers and take pride in helping meet their printing needs and stay within their budget. Their goal is the same now as it was when they first opened, to provide a quality product at a competitive price, accompanied with exceptional customer service. So remember, no matter what it is, when you need signs, printing, direct mail, let Delta do it. Call 334-271-COPY. And our media partners, the stations of Blue Water Broadcasting, News Talk 93.1, KISS FM 97.9 Jams, Bama Country 98.9, Yo 100.5, Classic Country The Possum, 104.9 The Gump, and 107.1 The Vault. They're local folks helping local business. Call them today and let them help your business. 334-244-0961.
And one more sponsor, we'd like to thank Mac the Camera Guy, MacTheCameraGuy.com. Visit that website for all your photo booth needs for weddings, proms, birthdays, and other events, corporate events. Visit MacTheCameraGuy.com. So we're here on the Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School pregame show for a Class 4A Region 2 matchup between Montgomery Catholic and Alabama Christian Academy. We've had both of these teams already once this year so far on the Montgomery Sports Network. Catholic comes in here with an unblemished record, 3-0, ACA 1-2. Catholic 1-0 in area play, ACA 0-1 after losing to Trinity last week.
And Catholic has progressively gotten better each and every week. They struggled in the opening week against Tallahassee, trying to get their offense going. Then they went up and played a bigger, stronger Anderson squad, came out with a 1-point win. And then open region play, of course, with that 48-point win against Dale County, while Alabama Christian has really struggled somewhat to find their identity really on the offensive side of the football, and that's something that can't happen tonight. If they come out and struggle offensively, then Catholic can take advantage quick. But ACA, region games, strange things happen in region games.
And a long-time rivalry between these two schools. They played 40 times. ACA leads the overall series 23-17, but Catholic has won the last three, including last season winning 28-8. And to get back to your point, which we'll go into our keys to the game here in just a second, ACA has not put more than 10 points on the board in the last 3 years during this Catholic win streak.
And during that win streak, Catholic has been able to exert themselves on the defense side of the football. They've been able to dictate the pace of the game. They've been able to use their strength, and that's what they've really built on. And they've held ACA off the scoreboard. And so ACA is going to have to find a way that if they get down early like they did against Trinity, I don't know if there's a way they can come back against this Catholic defense, because this Catholic defense is a little bit better than Trinity, and that's what they showed last week against Dale County.
So we'll get into our keys to the game here on the Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School pregame show. We're going to start off with the visitors, the Alabama Christian Academy, the Eagles, making the short drive over here to Montgomery Catholic tonight for this region contest. We'll start off with finding some offense, the point we were just talking about a second ago. Last week, ACA only had 2 first downs in the first half. It took them about 18 minutes to get those first downs, and they were down 17-0 at the half. They made a comeback in the second half, but they were not able to overcome that deficit.
And the big thing about offense, you would think you would feel comfortable at your home facility. So when you go on the road, you've got to be able to strike and strike quick to take that home crowd out of it. And this is going to be a big home crowd tonight that they've got to try to take out. And they've got to find something, whether it's chew up the clock and just march down the field, get a first down, get another first down, get another first down. Even if they don't score on the first drive, they've got to prove to Catholic that they can actually drive on their defense and actually prove to everybody in attendance that, hey, we can drive the ball. Now all we got to do is find a way to punch it in.
Last week against Trinity, they had 2 turnovers that led directly to 2 scores for the Wildcats. They also gave up a safety by snapping it over the punter's head, so that accounted for the first 17 points for Trinity, and ACA will try to not let that happen tonight. Second key for ACA tonight, we'll talk about leading on their defense. Last week, ACA's defense played rather well. They only gave up 7 points technically the entire game. There was a pick 6 scored against them. There was only 1 long drive for Trinity the entire night, so their defense had their backs against the wall most of the night, but they were able to keep Trinity's offense off of the scoreboard for the most part.
And that's big, especially in region games. You have to try to, when your offense is struggling, your defense has really got to come through and really force a stop. You don't have to go 3 and out every time. You can bend but don't break, which is what a lot of teams do, especially when you play these spread offenses or these heavy rushing offenses. Big key for ACA is they got to find a way to stop this Catholic offense, which is a bit unorthodox. But if they can find a way to stop it and give their offense some just a feeling of, hey, we've got a chance to win this football game, the offense can then respond and come out and score.
And look out for Miller McCarthy on the defense for ACA. He had several big hits last week and a couple sacks against Trinity. And the third key for ACA, we'll talk about heat. Cramping was an issue for both teams, Trinity and ACA last week. Temperature reached 100 degrees once again here in Montgomery, and we're about the middle of September at this point.
It hasn't got any cooler, and it's not going to get any cooler. The temperature will drop while the game's going on. But as we said in week 1, and we've said every week since, when guys are going on the field to rest, back off the field and back on the field to play, that's a lot different than what practice is. And when the temperature starts to drop, those muscles just don't have enough time to recover. And then that's when they cramp. And you'll see a lot of cramping in the second half.
And we'll switch to the homestanding Catholic Knights with their perfect 3-0 record. We'll look at their keys. We'll start off with the quarterback, Poison Ivy. Christian Ivy has been steady on the ground and in the air. The senior always seems to be in control for the Knights.
We talked about it week 1 when we had a chance to sit down with Coach Blackwell before that game. He said that the reason they switched to this offense is to keep the ball in his hands. You've still got Darrell Gibson in the backfield, and you've still got 2 wide receivers, but the ball needs to be in Christian Ivy's hands because he can make things happen, especially with the option. He can pull back and throw it deep down the field, and he can also end up with the pitcher. He can take it himself, and he's not afraid of contact.
Second key for Catholic, we'll talk about the defense. We'll highlight 2 of their players, Jack and Pat, that being Patrick Ryan and Jack Burt. Had huge games against Tallahassee and Anderson the last couple weeks. There was a lot of stars on that Catholic defense, but these 2 guys have been very consistent the first 3 weeks.
Patrick Ryan really swayed things in Catholic's favor on defense, especially with that freshman quarterback week 1. He was able to put pressure on him. Even when they went Notre Dame box, he was able to get in the backfield. And then Jack Burt against Anderson, 22 tackles. I mean, that's unheard of at almost any level. And then you get those 2 playing on at the same time with everybody else. You know, you've got your 4 stars on defense. You've got some DBs for Catholic that can play a good defensive line. You get all that together, and with a struggling ACA offense, that could very well spell doom for ACA early if they can't get the ball moving.
And the third key for Catholic, same as for ACA, the heat factor, 100 degrees again. We've been in the 100-degree heat index or higher range. Seems like almost every week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. The one thing both sides will have for them is they have the heat timeout at the 6-minute mark here mandated by the Alabama High School Athletic Association.
And that's going to be a key both ways, but the advantage Catholic has, they have a few more guys on their sideline than ACA does. So they've got a little more depth. The only problem is when you get that, how far off does it fall off from 1 to 2, maybe 2 to 3? And then you've got those guys cramping, so you've got your 1 guys on the sideline. It's going to be a big key to watch and see. You know, you're going to have some of your best players on both sides of the football, either maybe at the same time or every other play go down with the
So that's the keys of the game here on the Mission Fitness and Performance Parisi Speed School pregame show. We're going to take a quick time out, but we'll be back in just a moment here as the pregame festivities continue here at Montgomery Catholic. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
Experience the history of the first country music superstar and see how Hank Williams transformed country music and sowed the seeds of what was to become American music. Visit the Hank Williams Museum, nestled in historic downtown Montgomery, Alabama. The Hank Williams Museum is one of the top tourist attractions in Alabama. Museum hours are 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday, and 1 to 4 on Sunday. And they offer group rates, AAA, and military discounts.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in the field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
Emma plans to attend.
And welcome back to Montgomery Catholic Senior Night for fall activities here at the school as the Knights get ready to take on the Eagles in a Class 4A Region 2 matchup. Alabama Christian coming in here 1-2. Losing their first region game last week to crosstown rival Trinity. Catholic had the easy victory over Dale County 48-0. So week 4, huge region game. Obviously Catholic wants to keep rolling here at home. ACA trying to scratch the win column in region play. One of the keys tonight for Catholic, or just in general for them, is their opponents down the road here after this ACA game.
And that's a lot of it. For Catholic, you can't look ahead. If you're ACA, you're hoping they're looking ahead because then you can take advantage of them, of Catholic looking at Trinity. The thing with ACA, they've got Dale County next week, so they saw what Catholic did to Dale County last week, so they can't get to the point of, hey, you know, this Catholic team is really good. Now we've got to play Dale County next week. They need to focus on what's ahead of them, and that's Catholic. Catholic really needs to sit back and focus on ACA because these are the games what you call trap games, even though it's a region game. You've got ACA between a Dale County, who's down this year, but a Trinity, and then Beauregard 2 weeks away in a non-region game, who's going to be a tough contest for Catholic. So they can't get caught looking ahead. But Aubrey Blackwell, I'm sure, is probably doing a good job of that in the locker room. But for ACA, this is an opportunity to try to catch them looking ahead, even if it's for a quarter, to try to get ahead early.
So for ACA, they will play at home again next week against Dale County. Catholic will travel to Trinity. So these three teams have been kind of going back and forth here the last couple of weeks and into next week. Talk about the coaches here. We'll start off with Alabama Christian Academy. They're led by Nate Sanford in his third season, 15-14 overall. But that doesn't tell the whole story because he's 3-2 in the playoffs in his first 2 seasons. And those 3 wins, ACA, a school that struggled in playoff football up until recently here, and they've been able to advance to the second and even the third round in the last 2 seasons.
These are 2 schools that were really looking for somebody to come in and stabilize the program, and that's what Coach Sanford's done at ACA, and he's given them a chance every year to get into the playoffs and then can challenge in those playoffs. And that's the toughest part is when you get into the playoffs is are you going to come, how are you going to react and how are you going to get through it and how are you going to, you know, make sure people remember that ACA is not just a school that, hey, we're going to try to get in the playoffs, but this is going to be a perennial year-in, year-out team that's going to be in those playoffs.
And maybe the most impressive feat for ACA is they've been able to go on the road and win some playoff games. They've been eliminated by very good schools, Hillcrest, Evergreen, and Andalusia each of the last 2 seasons. So they obviously want to get back into the playoff picture here as this season plays out. For Montgomery Catholic, they're led by head coach Aubrey Blackwell in his 5th season, now 33-15 overall. We talked about this in week 1 against Towson. Montgomery Catholic as a school has been playing playing football for over 70 years. They only have 5 playoff wins, but 2 of those belong to Coach Blackwell in each of the last 2 seasons. And they have their eyes set on higher goals or achievement than they had the last 2 seasons, just advancing to the second round.
They went outside the Montgomery Catholic family and brought Aubrey Blackwell in. We've talked about that in the past, about how his pedigrees come from St. Paul, St. James, under Jimmy Perry, to here to Montgomery Catholic. He's brought that system in with him and that ability to turn around some good programs. He had at St. Paul's, you had Jake Coker and Trey Williams on the same team. At St. James, you had some kids that went on to sign Division I football and play. Here at Catholic, he's got those same guys doing the same things here. And for this program, you needed somebody to come in young that would be stable and would sit here and challenge the program. That's exactly what he's done.
And Coach Blackwell, with playoff victories each of the last 2 seasons. They defeated Holtville here last year, lost to ACA in Tuscaloosa in round 2. They came out with a big preseason ranking. Probably raised some eyebrows around the state, just knowing the history of the school football-wise, but they have proven from day one that they are worthy of these top 10 and now top 5 rankings.
Preseason rankings, if you ask any coach in the state, are just something that's on paper because the sports writers vote on it based on last year, and it goes into that first week's performance. If you play well the first week and then play even better the second week and even better the third week, you'll get to where you need to be. But if you ask Coach Blackwell and ask any of these coaches on the staff or any of these guys, they don't care about what the poll says. The only number they care about is the one that's going to be beside their name when the season's over. And they feel like they can challenge for a state championship. And hearing him talking each and every week, they're not going to settle for anything less than playing for that state championship game, and that's not only for the guys that are here now, but for the guys that have been here for the last 2 or 3 years that have helped build this program.
For each of these teams, ACA will talk about a few of their players. Their quarterback tonight will be Jalen Clark. Last year he was a receiver, as their senior Reese Solder has graduated and moved on. Week 1 had 118 yards passing, 2 touchdowns against Sachs. Also had 90 yards rushing in that game. Last week against Trinity was a struggle. They had a hard time moving the football. There were some issues with snap exchanges there early in the game. But then in the third quarter, he finally found a groove passing the football and running, giving them that run-pass option for ACA, and were able to manufacture a couple of scores there to make it a one-score game, a 17-12 game late before Trinity put it away in the fourth quarter.
And here's the thing about Clark. He's got an injury to his non-throwing hand that the Catholic coaches know about. I got caught when I was coming up before the game. They know it's on his non-throwing hand, but they're going to try to take advantage of it and really force him to go that way, even though try to make him throw against his body. And that might have been a lot of the reason why they were really struggling with the snap exchanges and him just getting the flow of offense. But still, he's grown. He's 3 games into the year. It may be your first year at quarterback, but 3 games in, you have to grow up a little bit, and for him, he's got to grow up quickly tonight.
And for Catholic, we highlighted the quarterback in the keys of the game, Christian Ivey, but he has a lot of weapons surrounding him in the backfield. Of course, there's Darryl Gibson, the running back. He was second-team All-State last year, ran for 129 yards last week on 8 carries against Dale County. Has the big receivers out there, DJ Carter. He has Carmichael out there, Miles Butler. We saw them put into action in that week 1 against Tallahassee, where there was just a major height advantage that they took advantage of against the smaller cornerbacks from Trinity in that contest.
And a lot of that gets lost when you start talking about this offense. You start talking about Christian Ivey being the guy that's going to run the offense, make sure you get the ball in his hands every play, which he will as a quarterback, but you got a 1,900-yard running back in the backfield with Darryl Gibson, and you got 2 basketball players playing on the outer edge at the outer flanks as receivers. All you got to do is let them use their speed and throw it up. Catholic's got a lot of weapons, and ACA is going to have their hands full defensively.
And, of course, defensively for Catholic, we kind of highlighted Ryan and Burt, but there's also a sophomore linebacker, T.J. Dudley, had 14 tackles against Tallahassee, has received a lot of accolades here in the recruiting rankings here recently over the summer, so he really mans that middle, and that is a very stingy defense they put out in the field each and every week here.
For those of you watching at home, watch how much Catholic's defense moves. They move a lot pre-snap, and you think they're getting confused. All they're doing is just, in turn, confusing that offense on the other side. And I think that's a lot of what happened. We had that week 1 game. Tallahassee had a freshman quarterback in. They also tried to go to the Notre Dame box, but Catholic was able to confuse them a lot with their looks. They were able to disguise some things in cover 4 and cover 2 defensively. But the biggest thing, if we go back to the other side of the ball, the biggest thing I think of tonight is going to be on that offensive line of Catholic. That first week we saw them pin a lot of guys from Tallahassee on that outer edge. If they can continue to do that, they'll be in good shape. But if ACA can somehow go ahead and get the tackles out of the play, they're going to turn Christian Ivey. He's going to have to go up the middle and keep the ball out of everybody else's hands. And he's going to have a lot of carries. And for a quarterback to have a lot of carries in this heat, that may not bode very well.
So we're just about 7 minutes here from kickoff. The team's starting to make their way out. ACA off to our right. Catholic will come out of the helmet bubble off to our left here as the Catholic band is coming out here we should have a invocation, prayer, and then the national anthem here in just a second. So we'll stay with it here as you've been watching the Parisi Speed School pregame show here on the Montgomery Sports Network. So as always, you can find us on YouTube. Search Montgomery Sports Network. You can go to Facebook, like our pages there. A lot of you have done that recently. You can follow us on Twitter at MyMGM Sports and Instagram. So a lot of avenues for you to follow us each and every week. Our complete schedule is there, on-demand highlights, past games from the previous years and this season. So there's a lot of avenues for you to keep up with us. Next week we will travel to Elmore County as Holtville will play host to their longtime rival, Elmore County from Eclectic. And we'll make the trip up there. And then we have Prattville and Wetumpka. We have a Stanhope-Elmore-Wetumpka game later on in the year. Opelika will come on our schedule against Stanhope-Elmore. Of course, we have Catholic later in the year, too. We have them one more time. So A lot of good action here locally here on the Montgomery Sports Network. So, but you can go to mymgmsports.com, follow us there, and find a complete schedule and highlights here. As the band's out in the field here, the captains are making their way out. Hot night.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Decent breeze here
for
the most part.
Caesar, the middle high school principal, Mr. Justin Costanza, and our
so we're going to take a quick time out. We'll come back in just a moment, and we'll get ready for kickoff. You're watching the Reese's Speed School pregame show here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Between your fourth
make good use of the gifts you have bestowed upon them, and may the fans be filled with the spirit of your love. We pray for your heavenly protection to keep each of these participants safe tonight. We ask these things through your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen.
So that was the pregame prayer and the national anthem performed by the Montgomery Catholic Band, as we're just under 5 minutes now to kickoff here between ACA and Montgomery Catholic here on the Montgomery Sports Network. So, Travis, weather, been a decent breeze most of the pregame, but we're a little elevated here above the playing surface, but beautiful night for football despite how hot it's been all day.
It really is a beautiful night for football. Beats what these two teams went through week one, especially with all the rain, wind, thunder, lightning, all that happened on that first weekend. We were lucky that opening weekend not to get any delays, but this is a great night for football. There are a couple clouds in the sky. You'll get a breeze every now and then. According to the weather forecast, it'll get down to the low 80s, high 70s throughout the game, maybe near the end of the game, which will feel fantastic, especially when you got a breeze blowing through up here where we are.
Tonight's captains
captains are headed out to the field. Look on the coin toss here for Catholic. Uniquely, we saw the senior night activities there in the pregame. Most times you see senior night at the end of the season, but obviously they were celebrating all the activities here in the fall here at Montgomery Catholic.
When you've got this many fall sports going on, some finish a little earlier, and they had to look at the schedule and figure out when things happen.
Number 6.
In the past, they've done it later, but I think because maybe where cross country sits, and their year's going to finish out early, and they've got home games left. They went ahead and did it. And plus, it's good when you've got a rival that comes in that kind of lifts the spirit of the school and get a good crowd in.
So, captain's out there for the coin toss. Try to see what's happening with that. Who's going to get the football first? As the head official giving instructions to the captains. But sun is setting here. We're facing out to the east here in East Montgomery. For those of you unfamiliar, we're located just east of Eastern Boulevard out here between Eastern Bypass and Taylor Road. So ACA has won the toss. They're going to defer until the second half. So that should mean Catholic will receive the football and get that offense out here on the field quick. Last week, we saw ACA have a pretty effective kicking game. Same thing here for Catholic. Both these teams have excellent kickers. So the kicking game, the ability for each of these schools, they have the ability to pin their opponents back deep here inside the 20 to start these contests.
And that's going to be big. If you can pin one of these teams back deep on a kickoff and force them to go the length of the field, then if they don't, you got to try to flip the field. And there's not many high school punters in the state of Alabama that can flip a field that major from the 20 to the other 20. So that's big. If you can pin them deep and then get them 3 and out or give them maybe 1 first down, even if you have to punt, you only get it to about the 30 or the 40 of the opponent.
So Catholic comes out through the smoke. Now they're helmet tunnel. ACA coming off from the end zone to our south, headed out to their far sideline. And teams will be ready to kick it off here. Montgomery Catholic wearing the black with the blue, and ACA going with the gray pants and the white road jerseys tonight after going with the all maroon last week here against Trinity. So we'll get ready to kick it off here. Good crowd on hand here on the Catholic side. The ACA side's filling up pretty nicely as we are just about ready to kick it off. Class 4A Region 2 here. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network, the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week on the Montgomery Sports Network. As Extermatech is our title sponsor once again this season here at mymgmsports.com. You can go to our website and search for past games or highlights or watch us live there and get our complete schedule. So kicking off for ACA will be number 13, Kobe Keel. And back deep is going to be Gibson for Catholic, one of the return men. As last week, Keel routinely was able to put the football down in the end zone. He was kicking it out kind of to the corner last week against Trinity. Was affected there the third quarter when ACA got rolling and putting some points on the scoreboard. So the ball is teed up, waiting for the final whistle here from the head official. And he lowers his hand, and we're ready to go here as week 4 is underway on the Montgomery Sports Network. This is a high kick taken down there near the 10-yard line. And ACA has things bottled up pretty good out to near the 25, so Catholic will start out 1st and 10 here. And we'll see that senior quarterback, Christian Ivey, come out here.
Tackle made by number 18,
and in the backfield, he'll have Darryl Gibson and usually T. Watley, number 1 for the Knights.
It'll be 1st and 10 Knights on their own 25-yard line.
Offensive line for the Knights will be Jamichael Washington, Chase Little, Riley Swain, Michael Hodges, and Colby Zaleski. And we'll see Ivey wearing number 11 in the backfield. To get things started, as they'll go with the trips formation off to the left to start the game with Gibson in the backfield. Gibson gets the handoff, tries the right side here, has some positive yardage across the 30, out towards the 32. So a nice 6-7 yard gain on first down for Catholic.
And again, these first few drives for both of these teams are always scripted. So they're just trying to see what they can find to later move on. I don't know if it's going to be a 12-play script, 15-play script, 20-play script. But that's a big gain on the very first play from scrimmage.
So 2nd down, call it 2 from the 33. They're going to motion Watley into the formation. They give it back to Gibson, but this time Gibson swarmed under for no gain. A nice job by the ACA defense. Farrington on the tackle for ACA.
And that's just a good stunt by that defensive line. They were able to X their stunt out a little bit. And Carrington was able to get on the inside, and just the guard just let him cross his face. And when you cross your face as an offensive lineman, that's the first big negative that you can have as an offensive lineman.
So 3rd down and 2. They got to get to the 35 for the first down. Ivey looks to the sideline. Play clock still has 10 on it. ACA really bunched in the middle of the line there with a 3-down lineman. Ivey's going to pull it on the option. Comes to the corner. He has a first down. Across the 40. Still going down the sideline. He's going to take it all the way. Christian Ivey out of the gate quickly. 67 yards for the touchdown for the Knights on the 3rd play of the game.
And the key to that was Watley knowing that the pitch, he wasn't going to get the pitch, so he got in front of Ivey and provided an extra blocker. Didn't have to put a body on anybody, but just provided that extra blocker because he knew that pitch ratio was gone. And instead of just hanging out in the back, he went ahead and ran by Ivey and went ahead and just filled the lane for Ivey to get down the sideline.
67-yard touchdown run for Ivey, and Papanastis is on to attempt the extra point for Catholic. So a minute 36 into the game, they're on the board. Good snap and spot. And the kick is good. So 10:24 left in the first quarter. Our score, Catholic 7, ACA nothing. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. And welcome back to the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week, as a 3-play, 75-yard drive capped by Christian Ivy's 67-yard touchdown run has Catholic in front 7-0 quickly here against their longtime rival
16,
ACA.
Michael
Russo to kick it off for Catholic, and back deep for ACA is going to be number 18, Damari Moore, standing at about his own 3-yard line. So Russo's kick is away. It is deep. Moore's going to take that to 1. Straight up the field, has some room. Nice job across the 30. Breaks loose across the 35, out near the 40. So a good kickoff return for Damari Moore.
Number 18, Damari Moore.
And what better way to answer a quick 3-play drive than go ahead and set your team up first and 10 from about the 40 on a good kickoff return. He's lucky, though. He almost stepped into the end zone on that return, and the official, I don't know if he was looking, it looked from here like he had stepped in the end zone, but regardless, this is a great field position for ACA to start.
So Jalen Clark will be the quarterback for ACA, number 1, to get things started. And in the backfield, number 25 is Corey Landers. I'm going to toss it to Landers, coming to the near side here. And he's going to move across the 40 to about the 41 for a gain of 2 on the play on first down.
Made by number 15, Jonathan Roden, and number 9, Patrick Ryan.
And again, we talked about that hand injury in the pregame. He's got a heavily bandaged. Not sure if that's a cast or if it's just got a big protective brace on his hand. But again, it looks like his thumb is what's casted up. So that plays into play with snap exchanges, even if you're going from the spread.
So an empty set for the moment on 2nd down and 8 from the 41. Clark rolls to the right. Going to throw it out there on the far side. He's looking for number 11, Hicks. It goes over his head, incomplete. And I'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for ACA.
And again, much like most of the opponents for Catholic this year, ACA rolls their quarterback out, and you see that a lot now in the spread offense for everybody. You roll your quarterback out because then that defensive line becomes null and void because they have to pursue. We got a bunch of big guys pursuing you. All your offensive line has to do is stand there.
3rd and 8 from the 41. Again, they'll go with an empty set for Jalen Clark. 4-man front for Catholic. They rush 5, though. Clark's going to take on the quarterback draw. Nothing happening there, as number 53, C.J. Owens, leads the way on the tackle to bring 4th down in a punting situation for the Eagles.
And that interior of that line really took control of that ACA offensive line. They engaged, were able to get off, and ACA thought they had something up the middle, which is why they rolled out on the previous play. Nothing doing, however.
So 4th down and 7. Clark will do the punting for ACA, which was an issue last week a couple times
Jalen Clark
for the Eagles. This kick is away. It's going to hit the ground at about 25. And the Catholic returner is going to get it, come across the 20, and driven out of bounds across the 25. So the Knights will start out 1st and 10 on their own 27 here on their 2nd possession. 8:47 left in the first quarter.
What better way to go ahead and knock out the snap exchanges on the punt than shorten that distance up instead of going back to full 12-13. He's back 7 and catches it and is able to get the punt off quick.
So 1st and 10 for the Knights on their own 27 after the three-play drive to start the game. As Ivy a quarterback with Gibson in the backfield. Ivy's going to roll to the left this time. On the option, he keeps it, but it's Farrington dropping him behind the line for a loss on play for the Eagles.
ACA did a good job that time of outnumbering Catholic on that side.
Brian Farrington.
The defensive back just shucked the wide receiver off and came up to the line of scrimmage. You had an outside linebacker also there. The only man that really didn't make it play into the equation was the defensive end, as Catholic pushed him about 10 or 15 yards downfield. But ACA pushed the numbers. They ran to the football very well that play.
So 2nd down and about 13 here for the Knights, as they're back on about their 23-yard line. Ivy's going to look to put it up in the air. Going on the far side of the field over there. A lot of contact as the pass goes incomplete. He was looking for Butler. No flag. Going to bring up 3rd down and long for the Eagles.
That's one of those, if you just throw it out and let him run under it, he's got plenty of speed. He had his man beat.
pass broken up
So
by number
when Ivy
21,
threw that ball under and tried to go
Selman.
back shoulder, that just allowed the defender to make a play on
Bring
it.
up third and
So
13.
third down and 13, 8:04 left here in the first quarter. So that negative play on first down really kind of changes the play calls here for Catholic, probably with what they're probably still in the script to start out on the second drive.
And that's the thing about it. When you have a quick drive like that, 3 plays, and you get down third and 13, you want to stick to your script, but sometimes you want to get away from it, but the guys know what the script is coming in.
So third down, Ivy has trips to the near side. He's going to look to put it up in the air. Going across the middle here, and the pass is deflected and incomplete. They bring up fourth down. Good coverage by the Eagles that time. As we got a player injured for the moment for ACA.
For number 4, Jordan Thomas.
Number 21 was on the coverage. That was TJ Silman.
And I don't know if that ball was really intended for Thomas, as Watley was still running a good post pattern. Thomas got his hands on it and deflected it behind Watley. If Watley catches that, he may be off to the races. I think that's one of those you just have 2 receivers in the vicinity.
So we're going to take a quick timeout here. 7:55 left first quarter. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe, located on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. From our great lunch selection and value to our tablecloth and candle evening atmosphere for dinner, La Zona Rosa has something to offer all connoisseurs of fine Mexican dining. Come on down today and enjoy some great Mexican. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown.
And welcome back to the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. The injured player, TJ Silman, who has just broken up was involved in 2 good pass coverages there for ACA, being helped off the field here as they'll bring up fourth down and a punting situation for the Knights. As Russo is on to kick it away for Catholic. 7:55 left first quarter. So nice stand by the ACA defense after giving up a quick score in 3 plays there for the Eagles.
Really big stand that time for ACA. They were able to force Catholic into 2 things they don't really like to do, second and third and long, and force a punt.
So back deep for ACA is Stovall. Oh, they come after the kick. Forced him to kick it high in the air, not much distance, and it takes a favorable roll for ACA, so they're going to get great field position out of this after only a net of about 20 yards for Catholic on the punt.
And that's what we talked about in the pregame. This ACA defense has got to make a few stands and give the offense some energy, and we'll see what that defensive stand does as the ACA has it in plus territory.
So 1st and 10, they're going to mark it officially at the Catholic 46. So excellent field position for ACA. Last week they didn't have a drive that started past the 22, their own 22 in the first half against Trinity, so they were in a hole much of the first half against the Wildcats. So it's a much welcome field position for the Eagles on first down. Clark calls the signals. Going to hand it off here to Moore. Moore tries back across the right side. And as a flag comes in from behind the play in the area of offensive holding.
Still a good play call from ACA that time. They tried a little misdirection. You bring everybody back left and then turn the ball and hand the ball carrier off going to the right side. But again, for an offense that's been struggling, you've got to find some ways to have mistake-free football. And they're just going to punch themselves in the foot right now.
So they're going to march this back. Spotted at the Eagle 44, so it'll be second down first down and 10 for the Eagles.
10 yards.
First down and 20, for the Eagles
20.
as they make some substitutions here. Clock moves, 7.5 left in the first quarter. As Catholic jumped out quickly, 7-0 here. ACA trying to get something going on offense as they'll empty the backfield again. For the moment, Clark back there by himself. Landers goes in motion. They faked it, hand off to him. They throw a screen pass across the middle here. It is complete, but not much happening there as Hicks makes the grab, picks up about 3 or 4 on the play to bring up 2nd and long for the Eagles.
That's just all that is an extended rushing play to try to create some havoc in the middle. Get your offensive lineman off the ball a little bit, get the ball in your receiver's hands at the line of scrimmage, let him make a play. That and a bubble screen are the best 2 plays in football, really, if you want to try to run the football, but you can't, is just throw a quick hitch.
So 2nd down, 16. 2nd down and 16 for the Eagles. Again, an empty set. Clark back there by himself. Going to look to put it in there. Now he's going to take off on the run. Has some room here. Crosses the 50. Moves down towards the 45-yard line. So a nice run by Jalen Clark. Bringing up 3rd down and somewhat manageable here for the Eagles.
Tackle made by number 6.
And all that is a linebacker from Catholic is supposed to spy on Clark that time.
Brings up 3rd and
Clark
9
able to get good yardage. If it was 2nd and short, 2nd and 10, it'd be 3rd and about 1 or 2 right now. Great play call from ACA. Even better play by Clark because he was able to move and make the first linebacker miss.
So 3rd down and 9 from the 45. Last tackle was by Dudley for the Knights as we're at the 6-minute mark, so we'll have a heat timeout after this play. Moving through the middle of the first quarter. Again, empty formation. Clark looking to throw. Forced out of the pocket for the moment. Now throws over here. Has a man wide open and overthrows him here on the near sideline. He was looking for K.J. Kendrick. Incomplete. He was behind the secondary and wide open.
As a receiver, you need to help your quarterback out. Kendrick just stopped. And if he just keeps running, he runs right under that, and we're tied.
So we're going to take a timeout here. We have the heat timeout. 5:45 left first quarter. It's Catholic 7, ACA nothing. We'll be back in just a moment.
Plumbing and heating.
So 5:45 left in the first quarter here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week on the Montgomery Sports Network. You can visit us at mymgmsports.com and find our past games. Go to Facebook, like us on that page. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at mymgmsports. We have the archived games, have our complete schedule here as we just had the mandated heat timeout. So looks like ACA is going to punt it away and try to play field position here against Catholic early in the first quarter.
And they'll be able to flip this field. I mean, you really can't say it's flipping the field, but it will be from the 45 into the end zone. See where he puts this ball down at.
Catholic playing punt safe. Clark, low kick. Going to hit about the 10, rolling towards the sideline, and looks like it's down at the 1-yard line. Boy, you can't do it any better than that.
Number 1's punt.
A net of 45, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Knights on their own 1.
And it almost snuck into the end zone. A heads-up play by the punt coverage team to be able to slide and keep it out of the end zone. The good thing is it's where the ball hits because bodies were in the end zone for ACA, but they were able to keep it out of the end zone. So this is when you got to come off script if you're still on it, backed up to your 1.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Catholic. 99 yards to pay dirt at the moment. See, maybe they go under center, quarterback sneak. That looks like they're going to stay in the shotgun with Watley and Gibson with Ivy in the backfield. Oh, high snap. Ivy's going to put it up in the air, coming over here to the near side. It's floated out here. Caught. Number 2, DJ Carter gets him out of the hole, out to the 40-yard line, just like that.
DJ Carter.
When you talk about offense and you talk about all the power, all the weapons they have, we talked about it pregame. You got 2 basketball players out on that outer edge. Sometimes you just let them use their speed and their height. Exactly what Ivy did that time. But again, if he leads him a little more, you may be looking at one of the longest passes in high school football history if he just gives him another 2 yards to run under.
So play gains 39, and Catholic is out of the hole. 1st and 10 on their own 40. As Gibson's offset to the right, Watley to the left of Ivy. And Ivy's going to look to throw again. A little hitch route out here. Again, looking for Carter. Overthrown, goes incomplete. Bring up 2nd down for the Eagles.
And that's just one of those where Ivy rushed the pass. I think it was maybe in a hitch and go, and he just went ahead and let it fly on the hitch instead of letting his receiver go. You can see the coaches motion for him to just let it go down the field. So it's one of those things is even though he's a senior, is still a learning experience, especially in a new offense.
Whitfield on the coverage for ACA on that play. So 2nd and 10, 5:02 left, first quarter. This time they'll have Gibson in the backfield by himself with Ivy, offset to the left. Now he'll flip over to the right of the formation. Wadley comes in motion, but they're going to run the option back to Wadley to the wide side of the field. Has some room over there. Makes a nice cut. There's a flag that comes in there from behind the play as Wadley, for the moment, has the first down in the ACA territory, but that flag's in the area of offensive holding.
There's a flag on the play.
And if ACA is going to play like this all night, they're going to take chances. They're putting their 2 defensive backs out on islands. They're loading the box up with 9 people. And the safety's moving up, moving back, trying to disguise the cover 3. But they're locked man-to-man on the outside with no help. And if Catholic can see that, then that could provide some problems, some issues for ACA. But they're challenging Catholic to throw it deep, and they're just not doing it right now.
So they'll march them back towards the 32-yard line. 2nd down and about 18 for Catholic. They got to get out to midfield here for a first down. Clock running, 4:45 and counting. This time Ivy goes under center. Going to be a little sweep here to Wadley. Wadley trying to get the corner across the 35 out to about the 40. So a nice run on 2nd down for 8 yards as he goes out of bounds.
Something you don't see a lot of are receivers coming back and crackbacking now, and that's the first one I think I've seen in maybe 5 or 6 years from Catholic. But he provided some room for the running back to get through. But again, another good play call, just really a 3rd and manageable. It was 2nd and very, very long. Now we'll see what ACA's defense does if they keep these 2 corners out on an island.
So 3rd and 10. ACA flipping their defense around. Now Ivy looks to the sideline, 10 on the play clock. Has Butler on the far side of the field. They're going to go that way in the slant. Butler makes the catch. He spins outside, has a lot of room, has the first down. Across midfield, breaks the tackle, dragging the defender with him down inside the 30-yard line. That plays picks up about 32 and a first down for Catholic.
When you got 2 corners out on an island with no safety help over the top, and they're playing 8-9 yards off the ball, and it's a 3rd and 9, all that receiver's got to do is run to the sticks and squat down, and Ivy just needs to let it go, and that's exactly what happened. Coach Blackwell saw it on the sideline, made the call. Ivy relayed it to his receivers, and the play was there for an easy first down.
So played, gained 31 and a first down for the Knights as they're down to the ACA 29-yard line. Ivy's going to throw a little swing pass out here to Watley. Watley comes across the 25, jumps over defender, finally thrown out of bounds near the 20. Bring up
Christian Ivy's pass is complete.
2nd and short for the Eagles.
And now what they're doing, they're just trying to get the ball in space to their 2 backs with their speed and let them take advantage of their speed. But again, ACA is loading that box, so everything on the outside right now is going to be wide open for Catholic, and the coaching staff, Coach Blackwell calling the plays, has seen it, and ACA has not adjusted yet.
So 2nd and 1 at the 20. We're under 3.5 to play here in the first quarter as Gibson offset to the left.
There's a mismatch in the slot. Let's see if they pick up on it.
They're going to move, give a handoff here to Carter, left side. He has the first down. Tiptoes towards about the 10-yard line and thrown out of bounds, where it's going to be a 1st and goal for the Knights.
Good blocking out on the edge, and we'd say that every week. You love to see receivers block. You love to see receivers engage those DBs, those linebackers, if they're matched up in the slot, and you love to see those guys put their hands on them and drive them back. You don't see that a lot. You don't see receivers that can block downfield. This team, 4 or 5 guys downfield that can block. ACA's got a couple guys that can block downfield as receivers.
So 1st and goal, ball resting just inside the 10-yard line. They're going to motion Watley again behind the line. Ivy's going to hand it off to Gibson. Gibson drives, he's into the end zone. Touchdown Catholic for Gibson from 10 yards out.
And that's a play that was designed when you go outside, then you just gash them up the middle. You see that a lot in option offenses, whether they be spread or the under center triple option. They'll gash you after going outside and throwing a pass. Very next play up the middle for a good 8-9 yards.
So Papanas is on to attempt the extra point for the Knights, as that is a 99-yard drive for Catholic, coming out of the shadows of their own end zone. And Papanas's kick is good. So our new score, 2:56 left first quarter. It's Catholic 14, ACA nothing. We'll be back in just a moment on the Montgomery Sports Network. So welcome back here to Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. The Knights quickly out 14-0 here in this Class 4A Region 2 matchup, Travis.
Couple keys we talked about. ACA's defense had to help their offense. They had to keep Catholic's offense from scoring. ACA's offense had to get a few first downs, get down the field. None of that has happened right now for the Eagles, and that's why they find themselves down 14-0. A lot of football left, but this is a Catholic team that if you start letting them go, they can really put some points on the board, just as Dale County last week.
So 99-yard drive, 3 first downs on the drive. Those first downs presented by Mission Fitness, Parisi Speed School in Montgomery, as Catholic will get ready to kick it off here. And back deep again will be number 18, Damari Moore for the Eagles. Russo's kick is away. This one's going to sail into the end zone here. So this time, the Eagles will start out on the 20. I almost think they tried to kick it deep and try to pin them back. It didn't work out. This time they said, let's just put it through the end zone and make them start on the 20.
You know, there's nothing wrong with allowing a team a kickoff here or there, but then when you realize that they've got a good kickoff return team, why take the chance? Just go ahead and spot it at the 20 and take it from there.
So ACA had the great field position last time. The penalty slowed them down a little bit. This time they'll start out on their own 20. Last week their first half field position was awful against Trinity. They started inside their own 22 most of the first half. Landers in the backfield. He's going to get it on the handoff, tries back to the right side there, and nothing happening. He might have made it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Stingy defensive front for Catholic. Those defensive linemen are putting their hands, and right now they're winning the battle and allowing those the linebackers to come up and make a play.
Owens on the tackle for Catholic as we approach the 2.5-minute mark of the first quarter. This time they'll go empty. Clark back there by himself, 3 receivers to the far side. Clark looks for a moment now, steps up in the pocket, and he's going to fall forward across the 20 for positive yardage, but it's third down and long for ACA.
And Catholic's taking things away. They went to a cover 4 that time on a 2nd and long. Normally don't see a cover 4 till 3rd and long. They're just confusing ACA right now.
There's a flag against the Eagles. Let's see if they march it off or Catholic declines it. It's 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10 based on the spot. And it looks like the sideline, the head coaching staff saying let's decline that. So third and 10 officially, so Clark was able to make it back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Just seems like Catholic's defense is a step quicker than ACA's offense. They have a lot of speed out there across the board.
And they really do. That's the advantage. I mean, you can say that the offense from Catholic will dominate the game, but the defense for Catholic is the team that has the advantage right now.
Fake the hand off the Landers. Clark comes back on a little counter, positive yards across the 25.
Number 1, Jalen Clark on the keeper.
He's going to be down just shy of the first down. 4th and about 2 for the Eagles. Looks like they're going to punt it away.
ACA's got to find somebody else besides Clark to do something. Clark is throwing it. Receivers are just not running the routes. He's rushing the football up the middle. He's going to be worn out here by halftime if they're not careful just by all the runs up the middle.
So
Downs back deep to receive for Catholic. Clark will do the punting. Punt safe look for Catholic at the moment as they have their defense on the field. Play clock's at 5. They're going to have to hurry. Clark's kick is away. Downs is going to have to chase after it. He was unable to field the last one, unable to field this one. Is going to roll dead inside the 30-yard line. So Catholic will start out first and down on their own 26-yard line.
26-yard line. Well, the Knights will start 1st and 10.
So the last time we saw Catholic really take advantage, it looked like ACA's been crowded the line of scrimmage there. Some swing passes, a deep shot. We saw the slant. They just have a lot of options right now on offense.
And for ACA right now, it's pick your poison. Do we load the box and try to stop the run, allow these two guys to run wide open down the sideline, or do we go ahead and pull our two safeties back to give help over the top and let Catholic either run up the middle or run the option left or right?
Ivy's going to run the option here to the near side. Keeps it, pitches late, the ball's loose, it's on the ground. It's free football, and looks like Gibson may have gotten back on top of it. No signal yet. It looks like Catholic will keep the football. So Gibson, the running back, the pitch man, who was unable to come up with it, gets on the football.
Pitch ratio that time was a little too tight, and Christian Ivy pitched it like he was 5 yards away from him when he was really 2. Hit him high, and that's a hard ball to handle up high, especially in offense with the defender bearing down on you.
So after the fumble, they're going to get 8 yards out of it, so it'll be 2nd and 2 for the Knights as they huddle up on this sequence from the 34. As Watley will go in the backfield here with Gibson. They're going to motion Carter. And Gibson gets it straight ahead. He's going to have the first down out to about the 37. So the clock will stop momentarily. Another first down. That's a Parisi Speed School first down for Catholic.
A lot of eye candy that time from Catholic, sending a wingman in motion. That really draws the defense, their eyes to him, and then you just run right up the middle.
And that should be the last play of the first quarter as the clock is going to hit triple zeros. With our score here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week, it's Catholic 14, ACA nothing. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of your first quarter.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe, located on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. From our great lunch selection and value to our tablecloth and candle evening atmosphere for dinner, La Zona Rosa has something to offer all connoisseurs of fine Mexican dining. Come on down today and enjoy some great Mexican. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown.
So second quarter action to get underway here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. Catholic in control 14-0. And Catholic seems to have whatever they want to do at their disposal at this point for their offense.
And they really do. When you have a lot of weapons, it just really doesn't really matter what defense you come out at and you stack the line. We're going to throw it. If you play the pass, we're going to run it.
Ivy's going to put it up on first down. Looks to go to far side. Now steps up and runs across the 40 and gets out of bounds wisely at about the 43. So about 5 or 6 yards on first down.
Run out of bounds
for the Knights.
Big run by Ivy that time. He tucked it and ran. He only pumped once and then took off, had 3 linebackers right in front of him and still outran him to the sidelines.
So second down and 4. As we're just 10 seconds in here to the second quarter on a hot night here in Montgomery. Temperature reached 100 degrees this afternoon. The breeze we had in the pregame has died down completely. The flags are not moving on the goalpost or the American flag off to the south end zone here on second and 4. As the Knights look to the sideline, play clock at 5. Ivy's going to roll it to this side on the option. Now he's going to cut it up. Breaks it outside across midfield. 45 still going down near the 40-yard line. That play picks up about 16 and another Parisi Speed School first down for the Knights.
Not sure what that play call was. It looked like it was supposed to be an option left or a dive up the middle, but either way, ACA's defense blew it up, and Christian Ivy should have been brought down in the backfield for about a 3 or 4 yard loss and ends up with about a 16, 17-yard gain.
So first and 10 at the 41. This time Ivy in the backfield. He has Gibson offset to the right, trips to the far side here. As ACA's having some alignment issues on first down, Ivy rolls to the right. There's nobody out there, but he's going to put it up deep. Going down the seam here has a man down there, and it's knocked away at the last second, but there's a flag, and there's going to be pass interference on ACA.
But there's a flag on the play.
Looking for Thomas down the middle, goes incomplete, but it's going to be another first down, a Parisi Speed School first down for Catholic.
And I'm not sure if that's what Coach Blackwell's talking to Christian Ivy about now, is putting some more air under that ball, let his guys run. That's 3 passes. He's had guys that could just run to the end zone and really jog to the end zone if he would just lay it out there for him. This one, he's lucky his receiver didn't get hurt because his receiver had to come back, try to jump over the defender, and drew the pass interference call.
So when they mark this off, that'll be another Mission Fitness Parisi Speed School first down for Catholic.
Flag is
as they're inside the 30.
Against the Eagles.
Going to take it all the way down to about the 25-yard line there. Ball resting just inside the 25 for the Knights. 11:05 left, second quarter.
First down
and Catholic in complete control at the moment. Again, Gibson in the backfield on first down with Ivy. They're going to motion Watley across the formation. Ivy's going to roll right. They're setting up a screen back here to the left. Oh, it's picked off and intercepted. And stepping in front of it for ACA is going to be number 18, Damari Moore, but there's a flag on the play. We'll have to see what that is. Damari Moore stepped in front. Big break there for the ACA defense if it stands.
It should stand. It should be an illegal man downfield, and actually they're going to call holding against Catholic, so either way it is. But that ball was telegraphed. Ivy went back. The offensive line came in and set. They waited till that line got set. It was just a well-drawn-out defensive play by ACA, and this is what we talked about. ACA's got to come up with a big play defensively, and that's the first one.
We saw this last week against Trinity. ACA fell behind, no fault of their defense, and then they kept them in the game, and they rallied in the second half, made it a 17-12 game midway through the fourth quarter before Trinity put it away late. And the same script unfolding for the moment here as ACA has to find some offense. They are still without a first down at this point. As Clark's going to empty the backfield again. The play clock's going to run out on him. It's going to be a delay game. Play clock has 0, but no flag. Clark's going to take it, work to the left. Catholic defense all over him, but Clark breaks out of it. Coming to the near side across the 30, across the 35, stiff arms the defender, reaches out to the 40. He's going to pick up 12 yards and have a Parisi Speed School first down for ACA.
Talk about everything going right on that play for ACA. Play clock hit 0. The referee pointed to the bag judge. Still no flag came in, and then Clark lowers his head like he's about to hit a couple defenders. They just go for his legs, and all he does is step around them.
So picked up 13 and a first down for the Eagles on their best offensive play of the night to this point. Under 10.5 here to play in the second quarter. Landers in the backfield this time with Clark. Landers gets it back to the left. Not much happening there. The Montgomery Catholic defense is going to tackle him for a loss that time. As a number 5, Morris D is making the cut, or Marcus D is making the tackle for the Knights.
Those misdirection plays ACA is trying to run, they're not going to work if you can't sell them. They're not selling them enough to Catholic. All they're doing, he's running right, and as soon as he runs right, he's jogging right, and then he's just handing the football off. He's got to run hard to the right side and have his back run hard to the left, then hand it off. Catholic's defense is just standing, the defensive front is just standing there waiting to see which direction they're running.
2nd and 11. Last play lost a yard for Landers. Clark drops the snap. He tosses it out here to Moore. Moore not going to have anywhere to go this time. He's dropped behind the line. It's going to be 3rd down and long for the ACA Eagle offense.
Another snap exchange problem for ACA. You hit it in the pregame about how many they had last week. That's the first one this time, and it loses 3 on the play.
So they got to get across midfield to the Catholic 49 for the Eagles. And to this point, they've only completed 1 pass. That was a screen pass for 4 yards. So 3rd down and 13. As they'll go trips to the near side here. Clark going to look to the right. Now comes back left. Steps up. He drops the football. And that time you can see the cast is bothering him, whatever's on his arm there, the brace, as he was trying to switch the football from one hand to the other on the run.
And we talked about it earlier. We said how much of a problem is that going to be? And we just saw when he tries to switch hands, when he's trying to run to that outside boundary on that left side, which explains a lot why everything's been up the middle to the right side. He can't shift that ball to his left hand. He just dropped it as soon as he tried to switch it.
So 4th down, and Clark will punt for ACA. Downs back deep for Catholic, standing at about his 35, 36-yard line. Clark gets the kick away. Downs is going to have to chase after this one again. Rolls towards the sideline. Nice angle punt there. But Downs is going to pick it off the ground. A nice heady play by him and rolls across the 35 to about the 37. So a 10-yard return for Catholic when it looked like they were going to start inside their own 30.
And ACA had a chance to down that football, just ran right by, but heads up play by Downs. He read it perfectly. It's almost like a shortstop middle infielder in baseball. You just have to read the way the ball is bouncing. He read it perfect, picked it up, and took off.
So 8:03 left, second quarter, 1st and 10 for the Knights. They'll start out on their own 36-yard line. ACA unable to cash in the turnover with the interception on the last series by Moore. They go with a traditional spread look this time. 2 receivers to each side for Catholic. And Ivy's going to throw it out here. That's going to be Butler on the reception. And makes a stutter move. Across the 40, gets a block. Across the 50, breaks a tackle. He's still loose across the 40. Inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 25 and another Parisi Speed School first down for Catholic.
He should have been down right here in front of Coach Blackwell at about the 40, 42-yard line. Just made a good move, picked up a blocking, was able to get down the sideline. There were 7 ACA defenders right there. Nobody could put an arm on him.
So 1st and 10 at the 35. Butler with his second big reception here for Catholic in this contest. They're going to motion Carter across it. Carter's going to get the handoff around the right end. Has a lot of room out there across the 30. He's loose. He's got to take it all the way into the house for the touchdown. That is DJ Carter from 35 yards out for Catholic.
Weapon after weapon after weapon. This Montgomery Catholic team, if they stay healthy, can have a chance to go very, very deep in the playoffs.
The number 4 ranked team in 4A showing every bit of it here in the first quarter and a half, as Papanastis will come on to attempt the extra point. We'll check that Russo's coming on to attempt the extra point for Catholic. But that time, DJ Carter got the corner, and he was virtually untouched out there on the far sideline. Russo's kick is up. And it's good. So our new score is 7:21 left until halftime. It's Catholic 21, ACA nothing. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network. And welcome back here to East Montgomery, where Montgomery Catholic leads Alabama Christian 21-0. 3 touchdowns for the Knights here. We've seen Christian Ivy, Gibson, and Carter all find the end zone so far for the Knights.
And they haven't been short touchdowns. Gibson's has been the shortest of maybe 9 yards. The rest of them have been big play after big play after big play for Catholic tonight.
Yeah, looking down the stat sheet, chunk plays 29, 26, 32, 67 so far for Catholic through the first 15 minutes. As Russo will kick it off. Kendrick, number 5, KJ Kendrick back deep for ACA. Russo's going to sail this one to the far left. It's going to hit into the end zone for a touchback, and the Eagles are going to have to go 80 yards again.
Everything we said in the pregame as far as keys for ACA that they had to have in order to even have a chance, not to win, but to have a chance, have gone the way of the Knights. And everything we said for Catholic has basically come to fruition. They've had the big play. They've kept the tempo. They haven't looked ahead. They're playing really strong on defense, and it shows in the score.
So Jalen Clark at quarterback for the Eagles. They'll start out on their own 20. They're going to empty the backfield again. 3 receivers to the near side for ACA. Clark looks left. It's going to be a screen pass out there on the far side. He finds Kendrick. Going to get a couple yards. That's it. To bring up second down and long for the Eagles.
And now if you're Catholic, you can just sit back on your heels a little bit defensively and let them play in front of you, in front of the chain.
2nd and 8.
ACA, they got to find a way to get ahead of those chains and pick up a first down.
So 2nd and 8. We're under 7 minutes to play here in the second quarter. ACA with 1 first down to this point. They had the big turnover, the interception by Moore, but could not get any points out of that turnover, out of that sequence. So 2nd down and 8. Clark going to roll to the right this time. Had a man open. He's going to go deep, though. He's looking for number 2, Hunt. Hunt comes back to the football, makes the grab, but he's going to be out of bounds, it looks like. Well, still no signal. They're going to, no, incomplete. They're going to say out of bounds. It's a flag back behind the play, though.
Number 1's pass is incomplete, but there's a flag
in that area of offensive holding.
The side judge was about 40 yards downfield. I was trying to figure out where he was. And here's the other thing. The clock is still running. So you got the clock running. You got a pass that was out of bounds. You could tell easily it was out of bounds.
And my hesitation there making the call, it looked obvious that we got a personal foul against ACA. It looked obvious that it was out of bounds on the catch, but as you said, the side judge was just jogging down there like he was going to spot the football. And then clock continues to run, 5:50.
I think that's a lot of the reason the clock's running.
And now we have it's still running, and the head official's talking to Coach Sanford on the far sideline.
A personal foul against the Eagles.
At this rate, they might as well just go ahead and take the heat timeout and stop the clock.
So, and there is an official down there with the clock. I've seen him walk up before the game into the press box, so I'm not sure why it's still running.
I don't think they ever called it incomplete.
Well, this is true too. We never actually got an official signal. You're correct. They looked like they were going to spot the ball. And the side judge and the back judge just kind of looked at each other, and then there was a flag behind the play.
So 1 minute and 3 seconds ran off the clock at home, folks, if those of you wondering how much time's left.
So right now it says 5:20. The clock has finally stopped. There's not been a timeout. The head official is having a conversation with Coach Sanford, and Coach Sanford will go back to the sideline now. And now we're going to get our heat timeout. So, we're going to take that break with them. So 5:20 left till halftime. It's Catholic 21 and ACA nothing. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermatech, 334-209-4590.
And welcome back here to Montgomery. The Catholic Knights leading ACA 21-0 here in the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. My name is Kane Young. I'm here with Travis Jerome. And the number 4 team in Class 4A has put on a show through the first quarter and a half here so far, Travis.
No doubt they've put on a show. They've gone big play after big play. You touched on it, multiple plays over 20 yards. ACA just hasn't had an answer for any of it, offensively or defensively. They can't go left because of the cast on Clark's arm. We've seen that. All of his rushes have gone right or up the middle. He can't shift hands to try to throw it left side, which puts the ACA offense at a disadvantage and gives that advantage to the Catholic defense because they're able to sit and squat on that side. But the biggest key to this whole thing is ACA's defense. They're still going man-to-man out on the edge with the 2 corners against those 2 big receivers, and all they've got to do is go squat on the line of scrimmage or the first down marker, and they get it every time.
So after the penalty is marked off, it's 2nd and 20 from the 10 for ACA. Landers in the backfield with Clark, 2 receivers to each side. And Landers gets it, and nothing happening there as the Catholic defense is all over him, dropping him for a loss. That was going to be number 9, Patrick Ryan, making the initial contact. It's 3rd down and long for the Eagles.
And again, it's that misdirection. They're just not selling it good enough right now for Catholic to bite. On a misdirection, you've got to sell it hard to get that defense to commit one way. Catholic's just sitting still. They're not going for the fake at all.
So 3rd down and Mount Meigs here for ACA. They got to get out to the 30-yard line. Empty set again. 3 receivers to the near side. Clark hesitates. Now he's going to take it on the run. Goes across the 10. Picks up positive yardage. We go fourth down, give him a little more room to punt the football.
And again, which direction did he go? He went right again with the football. He refuses to go left, and if you're Catholic right now, you just sit on that side of the defense and just let him try to go left. If he's going to go left, then you go make a play. ACA's got to change things up. They've got to sell that misdirection better, and they've got to try to get a big play.
So Clark will do the punting. The quarterback, the senior, played wide receiver last year for ACA. Downs is back deep to receive the kick, standing just inside midfield. Clark's done a good job angling the punts. He's going to put this one towards the near sideline. That's a good punt. Not returnable. It's going to go out of bounds right near the 50-yard line. But once again, Catholic has good field position here, officially on their own 49.
Clark's kick goes out of bounds.
With 3:44 to go to halftime.
At the 49-yard line,
and at this point,
ball, 1st and 10.
Whatever Coach Blackwell wants to do, he has at his disposal, or if he just wants to work on something at this point before the half, he can dial up anything at this moment.
He's got an open playbook right now, and that's the bad thing about it. When you got an open playbook, if you're the opposing team, all you can do is start guessing, and that's what they've been doing since the first quarter.
So Ivy's a quarterback. He has Watley and Gibson in the backfield. He's going to toss it to Gibson. Oh, he's going to cut this back to the near side here. Driving those legs across midfield. Getting down to the 48-yard line. Jackson Thomas on the tackle for ACA. Picked up 3 on the play for Gibson.
Confusion on that play to start. Coach Blackwell was screaming at his H-back. He was set up on the wrong side, then went out too far and set up in the slot when he should have been on the line of scrimmage. So Aubrey Blackwell still coaching right now, even up 21. You don't see a lot of coaches when they're up 21 to continue to coach like that.
So 2nd down and 7 at the ACA 48. Defensive lineman shifting there. They're going to roll this side. Ivy's on the pressure, has a man over here, and that's going to be caught. Looks like Carmichael on the reception down at the 31, 17 yards on a first down for the Knights. That's a Parisi Speed School first down for Catholic.
Carmichael wide open on the little wheel route that time for Catholic. ACA had nobody around him. If he turns outside instead of inside, inside instead of outside, he might not touch that sideline and could go for a score, but instead he turns towards the sideline. As soon as he does, hits that sideline.
So we have a timeout taken by the ACA defense. We're going to take it with them. 2:57 left in the first half. It's Catholic 21, ACA nothing here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Here Montgomery Catholic Knights 21, ACA.
We're 2 minutes and 57 seconds left till halftime. It's Catholic 21, ACA nothing, and the Knights are on the move again. Ball currently sitting at the 30-yard line. ACA with 2 timeouts remaining. Catholic has all 3 in their back pocket. And the last play, Carmichael, 17-yard reception and another Parisi Speed School first down for the Knights as they are on the march once again. As Ivy comes out with Gibson and Watley in the backfield. That's just a dynamic duo back there. A lot of options for Catholic. They just have so many weapons on offense.
And it really doesn't matter who they play. They're able to exert all of that against anybody.
This time they're going to hand it off. This is going to be Gibson working the left side of the line, picking up positive yards on first down to about the 27, 28-yard line.
You know, we talk about all these weapons offensively, all these skill position guys, but that offensive line for Montgomery Catholic has done a heck of a job through the first 3.5 weeks of the year to be able to keep Christian Ivy up off his back, be able to open up holes for these running backs, those wide gaps. Now they close them up a little bit.
2nd and 7 from the 28. High snap. Ivy comes down with it, hands off to Gibson, straight up the middle. He's loose again into the second level. Across the 15, another Parisi Speed School first down for the Knights as ACA has a couple players down here behind the action.
1st and 10 from the 14-yard line.
So that's going to be another injured player. So we're going to take a timeout with them quickly here. It's Catholic 21 and ACA nothing here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
We're
not your daddy's rock and roll station. 104.9, The Gump. Montgomery's alternative rock station. 104.9, The Gump. The only radio station in Montgomery playing new rock alternative. 104.9, The Gump. Montgomery's alternative rock station. 104.9, The Gump.
And welcome back here to East Montgomery. We're out at Montgomery Catholic tonight here on the Montgomery Sports Network as ACA has an injured player. He couldn't quite get a number. He had his back turned to us for the moment, being helped out by the training staff on this hot day turning tonight here in Montgomery. Looks like number 40 for ACA walking off. That is Jay Nelson, getting some help from the training staff. As Catholic, when ball is whistled back into play, will have a 1st and 10 at the ball resting around the 14-yard line here for the Knights. This time they come out under center with that old flex bone look that Georgia Tech used to run under Coach Johnson a few years ago. With Gibson in the middle here. Watley off to the left here. And we'll give the clock a wind and starts moving here towards the 2-minute mark on 1st and 10. Watley goes in motion. They're going to toss it to him. But he is wrapped up quickly and thrown down to the ground by number 52, Preston Perry for the Eagles. A nice defensive stop for Perry that time. The Eagles.
Perry just read that ball perfectly, read that whole play call perfectly, and was able to get in the backfield really before the pitch ever got back there to Gibson.
So timeout. We'll keep it right here. Plenty of time left for Catholic. They got a minute 58 till half. They still have 2 timeouts.
21-0.
We've seen that look a couple times work pretty well for Catholic. This option game, just don't see a lot of option with the pitch a whole lot at the high school level anymore. So, the one thing Catholic has going for them, if you're looking down the road here into the playoffs, they're going to present something that a lot of teams don't get to practice against or play against during the season.
A lot of time the option offense is for guys and teams that really don't have a lot of team speed, really don't have a lot of talent at skill position. But this Catholic team has team speed, has talent at those skill positions, and that makes it hard to defend. Usually when you think of triple option, you think about an Army, you think about a Navy, undersized. You think about a Georgia Tech, they're undersized. You think about a Kennesaw State, they're undersized. You think about Georgia Southern, they go spread, undersized. This Catholic team is big on that offensive front and can really run.
So 2nd down and 12 for the Knights. Ivy hands it off. Gibson works the left side again. Across the 10, there's a flag comes in behind the play in the area of offensive holding.
Daryl Gibson on the carry. There's a flag
thrown by the head official. It is holding against the Knights.
This, when you think about it, this goes back to those late 80s, early 90s, in which Coach Blackwell was a player in the late 90s, and they were still running it. But Lee started out with the wing tee. They introduced it, and nobody knew how to defend it. So what do? They ran the 2 state championships because of it, and then reached the semifinals and the finals in the next 2 years after that. But this Catholic team has all those semblances of those lead teams in the 90s because this is an offense that people haven't figured out how to stop yet, and they've got good speed and good size.
So it was holding against the Knights. It looks like ACA is going to decline the penalty and take their chances here on 3rd down and about 13. So they declined the penalty, but they didn't give Gibson the gain. Anyway. Nevertheless, 3rd down and 13 for the Knights. Butler off to the left here. Carter off to the far right. Going to run the option to the right. Ivy pitches it late. Gibson makes it. He tiptoes down the sideline. Timed out perfectly for the touchdown for the Knights.
And that's one of those that Ivy, you're sitting here and you're screaming, no, don't pitch the football. He pitches it anyway. And Gibson tight ropes the sideline, picks up what he had and more, and goes ahead and goes in for the score.
So a 14-yard touchdown run for Daryl Gibson, his 2nd touchdown of the night. Puts Catholic ahead 27-0. Russo going to attempt his 2nd PAT of the evening here for the Knights. And it's been all Catholic here in the first half, as advertised, for the number 4 team in Class 4A. Low snap, spotted nicely by Ivy. And Ruzo's kick is good. So our new score, a minute 27 to the half. We'll take a timeout. It's Catholic 27 and ACA nothing. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
Montgomery Catholic Knights 28.
97.9 Jams, the new home of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Hey, what up? This your boy Ricky Smiley from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show on my new home, Montgomery, the Gump. ASU, what's up?
Throwback Quickie Mix at noon, the live drive at 5, and top 5 at 9. Your favorite jams are on now. Drake, Rihanna, T.I., Nicki Minaj, Chris Brown, and Beyonce are all at 979jams.com. And on your radio at 97.9. Tune in and turn up. 97.9 Jams.
So 28-0 in favor of the Knights over their longtime rivals, the Eagles. The Knights trying to make it 4 in a row over ACA, as Catholic has controlled this game from start to finish. Outside of the interception there by Damari Moore for ACA, it's been all Catholic this evening.
I think what's more impressive is if you go over and look at
Number 16,
the
Michael
game
Russo,
and a half that Catholic has played
kickoff.
in region play. They've outscored the region opponents 76 to
Becker
nothing.
Senior's
That says a
number
lot.
5,
We sit here and talk about the
Kendrick.
offense, but the defense has kept a 0 on that board for nearly 6 quarters now.
So Russo will kick it off. And back deep is Kendrick. It's going to sail into the end zone again. Another touchback. And again, we're talking about offense. You're talking about defense, special teams. I mean, they're excellent in all 3 phases. I mean, I say this every week when a team has this, but when the teams with the kicking game that just pin their opponents back, it is just tough to go 80 yards all game long against a good defense.
And it really is, and that's the luxury that Catholic has. You pin them back, and then you get the ball back at your 45, 50-yard line on punt, or maybe the opponent's 45 or 40, and it just shortens the field up.
So Landers in the backfield with Clark. Farrington, the blocking back. Landers is going to try to work the left sideline. Going to have some positive yardage across the 20 to about the 23.
Landers with a carry.
On first
Number
down
9,
for the running back.
And number 34,
Ryan on the tackle and Burt on the tackle for Catholic.
Brings up second
And this
down
is
and
one
6.
thing, and this is something that people don't really realize. You're up 28. There's a minute and 15 seconds left to go before half. You're trying to change your culture. These coaches for Catholic have not stopped coaching. That's not saying anything about ACA's coaches, but these Catholic coaches are up 28, and they haven't stopped coaching at all.
2nd and 6, under a minute to play. Landers left side, and he stood up. May have got a yard on the play, and that's about it. Bring up 3rd down for ACA.
Number 25, Corey Landers on the carry, tackled by Hosted
They'll have to
Knights.
snap it again. There's about a 5-second differential
Play
between the
game's
play
about
clock
1,
and
brings
the
up 3rd down and
game
5.
clock here, as we're under half a minute to play till halftime. Again, Landers will come out with Farrington, the blocking back for ACA. 2 receivers to the near side here. Catholic safeties are about 20 yards behind the play. Clark going to look to put it up. Coming over here to the far side. And it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Nathan Downs. Nathan Downs has a lot of room in front of him here. Trying to get to the corner. And finally taken inside the 10 and knocked out by Farrington at the 5-yard line as the clock hits triple zeros here
Interception by
to end the first half.
And I think if he knows that the clock is out, he either dives or cuts it back up to the middle of the field.
So that'll take us to halftime. Our score, Montgomery Catholic 28, Alabama Christian Academy nothing. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. We'll come back, look at some stats, talk about the first half here. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors in just a moment.
0.
Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks Incorporated is a locally owned and operated business in Montgomery, Alabama. And we've been in business since 1985 and served Montgomery and the surrounding counties with burglar bars, ironworks. Our philosophy is being honest, dependable, and treating each customer with respect and selling a quality product at a fair price. If you need burglar bars or ironwork of any kind, call Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks, Montgomery. Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermatech, 334-209-4590. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included and I knew that I was going to be okay.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was reelected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
97.9 Jams, the new home of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Hey, what up? This is your boy Ricky Smiley from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show on my new home, Montgomery, the Gump. ASU, what's up?
Throwback Quickie Mix at noon, the live drive at 5, and top 5 at 9. Your favorite jams are on now. Drake, Rihanna, T.I., Nicki Minaj, Chris Brown, and Beyonce are all at 979jams.com. On your radio at 97.9. Tune in and turn up. 97.9 Jams.
La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe, located on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. From our great lunch selection and value to our tablecloth and candle evening atmosphere for dinner, La Zona Rosa has something to offer all connoisseurs of fine Mexican dining. Come on down today and enjoy some great Mexican. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown.
And welcome back to the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network as Montgomery Catholic comfortably in control, 28-0 over Alabama Christian Academy at the half. My name's Kane Young. I'm here with Travis Jerome. And Travis, it was a complete control of this game by Catholic from start to finish here by the number 4 team in Class 4A.
It started on the opening possession, and Catholic was just able to pick and choose what they wanted to do. They were able to throw the ball down the field. They were able to have their receivers go squat for first downs, turn and pick up about 16, 17 yards, able to run it up the middle. Christian Ivy able to get outside on the option. ACA just has no – they just can't figure out how to stop this Catholic offense, but a lot of that is because they're packing the box, and Catholic's taking everything outside. And ACA's got to make those adjustments, but Catholic has just dominated this game from start to finish.
So take a look at the first half stats for Catholic. 8 first downs, 229 on the ground, with Gibson being the leading rusher to this point for Catholic. 133 through the air. The leading receiver at this point is Butler for Catholic. Total of 362, only 1 turnover, the interception by Ivy there in the middle of the second quarter. Gibson, 2 touchdowns of 10 and 13 yards. Carter, 35-yard touchdown on the speed sweep. Ivy, the 67-yard touchdown run on the third play of the game, but it's been the chunk plays for Catholic. They've been all over the place.
And really, if you go and look at it, those rushing plays, you could have had a 99-yard touchdown, but the ball was underthrown. It ended up being a 49, 50-yard gain. You had another chance in the end zone to have about a 55-yard touchdown. Ball was underthrown. If Christian Ivy just leads his receiver, this game could be easily 42-49 already.
And for ACA in the first half, 1 first down for the Eagles. We saw that be a problem for them last week against Trinity in the first half. 33 yards on the ground for ACA, 6 through the air. The leading rusher in the first half was the quarterback, Jalen Clark. He had some big runs, a 13-yard, 8-yard, and 8-yard, but unfortunately there's been some holding penalties, and then the other plays after that have usually been negative against this Catholic defense.
And again, it's because they're taking everything right. The only thing they've done left is they've thrown a pass out left, tried to do misdirection out left. Clark can't run to that left side because the ball will be on the inside of the field because of that cast on his left arm. But you touched on it pregame. One of the big keys was this offense of picking up first downs. They got 1. And that's just not gonna cut it when you're playing against a team like Catholic that can get a big play here, big play here, big play here, and then just drive the ball down the field.
So we're here at halftime as the ACA band is performing. We're going to take another time out, come back, talk about our sponsors in just a moment. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was reelected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride? No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom. Dude, are you okay? I am definitely buzzed. Yeah. I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
And welcome back to the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here. Halftime, Catholic leads at 28-0 over ACA here on the Montgomery Sports Network. So next week we will travel to Elmore County as Holtville will play host to their longtime rival, Elmore County. Last year, Catholic ended up defeating Holtville in the first round of the playoffs in the game right here. So we look forward to get up to slap out Alabama for that contest next week. And then we'll have Prattville and Wetumpka the week after that at Wetumpka. So some big games coming up here as we move into Elmore County the next couple weeks. So we'll take a moment here to thank our sponsors here at halftime. First, our title sponsor, once again, Extermatech Pest Control. We thank them. They're locally owned and operated here in Montgomery. They're a small, passionate, and powerful team voted the best in Montgomery. If you have bugs bugging you, call Extermatech. They've been bugging the competition for 15 years. Call 334-209-4590. Attorney Matt Matthews of ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com. Workers' compensation attorney Matt Matthews has many years of experience litigating workers' compensation cases in Alabama. If you are hurt on the job, he can help you get the benefits you deserve. Visit ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com or call 334-721-4878. Mission Fitness and Performance, Parisi Speed School of Montgomery, another one of our sponsors. Athletes and coaching staffs, if you want your team to train with the best sports performance program in the area, talk to Mission Fitness and Performance, home of the only Parisi Speed School in Alabama. Find out why Parisi Speed School has been the industry leader in sports performance training for the last 27 years. Located right here in the River region, call Mission Fitness and Performance 334-318-3639 or visit missionfit.com. The Hank Williams Museum. The Hank Williams Museum is located in downtown Montgomery at 118 Commerce Street. It is a 6,000 square foot museum. You can take a step back in time and learn about the musical history and life of a Montgomery man who is known as the legendary singer and songwriter Hank Williams. Browse Laura's gift shop. Groups are always welcome at the Hank Williams Museum. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs, celebrating its 102nd year in business in the capital city. Located just steps from the state capitol at 138 Dexter Avenue, Chris's Caters. Have Chris's Hot Dogs at your next meeting or event. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs, taste the tradition. Call orders in advance, 334-265-6850. And here is Travis with the rest of our sponsors.
Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks is a local owned and operated business. They've been in business since 1985 and serve Montgomery and the surrounding counties. Mid-State builds and installs burglar bars, AC guards, hand railings, fencing, storm doors, and more. Make sure to check out the decorative handrails, a true work of art. Call Mid-State at 334-313-9015. La Zona Rosa Mexican Cafe, located at 2838 Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. Check out their great build your own lunch and dinner selections and updated menus. Make La Zona Rosa your choice for authentic Tex-Mex and Salvadorian cuisine. Open Monday through Saturday. Call 334-274-1153. Delta Printing and Sign Company. Delta Printing and Sign Company opened in 1979 and is still local and family owned. As a second-generation business, they have stayed true to their roots. They get to know their customers and take pride in helping meet their printing needs and stay within their budget. Their goal is the same now as it was when they first opened, to provide a quality product at a competitive price, accompanied with exceptional customer service. So remember, no matter what it is, when you need signs, printing, direct mail, let Delta do it. Call 334-271-COPY. And our media partners, the stations of Blue Water Broadcasting, News Talk 93.1, Kiss FM 97.9 Jam, Bama Country 98.9, Yo 100.5, Classic Country The Possum 104.9 The Gump, and 107.1 The Vault. They are local folks helping local business. Call them today and let them help your business. 334-244-0961.
And we'll thank one other sponsor, Mac the Camera Guy. MacTheCameraGuy.com for all your photo booth needs, for events, for weddings, proms, corporate events. Visit MacTheCameraGuy.com. As we are At halftime here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week, it's Catholic 28, ACA nothing. We're going to take one more timeout and come back and get ready for the second half. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was reelected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride? No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom. Dude, are you okay? I am definitely buzzed. Yeah. I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
And welcome back to the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. Halftime finishing up here. Catholic leads ACA 28-0. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network. You can visit us at mymgmsports.com to find our archive games, highlights, see our schedule for the year. You can go to Facebook, like us on there. Follow us on Twitter at mymgmsports.com or on Instagram. So a lot of avenues for you to watch games. If you got family members all across the country, then go on YouTube, search Montgomery Sports Network, and find this game and past games we've had the last couple of years here on the network. So a lot of avenues for you to view us each week. If you're going to another game, you can watch us in the stands and just keep up with what's going on. As next week we will head to Elmore County, where Holtville will take on Opelika, and then the week after that we'll be in Wetumpka, as Prattville will take on Wetumpka. And at halftime, some scores. Opelika, I take a second quarter, Opelika leads Wetumpka 21-13. That's a game that's decided that region the last couple of years, where Wetumpka's kind of had the upper hand, but tonight Opelika is winning against the Indians over in Opelika 21-13 at the half, or excuse me, late second quarter.
Those are two really good teams, and that may well dictate that region early in the season. Some things happen every once in a while in region play, but those two teams back and forth every year. And this year, Opelika just has the leg up on the skill players. The last 2 years, it's been Wetumpka having a leg up.
And the other big team in that area, in Class 6A, Stanhope Elmore tied with Calera late second quarter, 7-7. Stanhope Elmore actually finished in a three-way tie last year with Opelika and Wetumpka, but based on tiebreakers, the Indians came out of there as the 1 seed. Forcing Opelika into the 2 seed and the Mustangs into the 3 seed. So last week, Stanhope Elmore won on the road at Benjamin Russell. So they're trying to go to 2-0 before they take on Wetumpka in a few weeks, which we'll have that game. We'll also have Stanhope Elmore hosting Opelika late in the season, so there's always potential for a region title to be online in either of those contests.
And those three teams, Stanhope, Elmore, Wetumpka, Opelika, will always be at the top of that region. Most of the time it's usually who's going to be that 4 team. Can Calera be that 4 team? Only time will tell throughout the year.
It's just about to get ready here for the 3-minute warm-up in the second half. Class 4A Region 2, this matchup in this region. Last year, Catholic had the de facto region championship game against Headland late in the year. They lost that game by 1 possession. Late score by Headland, ended up winning the game for them, and they ended up being the 1 seed and Catholic the 2 seed. This year, the way things are shaping up, it's still early. A lot of football to be played, but Catholic has that game here, last game of the season, which for them will be Week 10. They'll actually have a bye before the playoffs start, which will be a huge advantage for them to rest up any injuries and shore up some stuff. But that game last year they lost on the road in such a heartbreaking fashion will be right here for them this year.
And it's almost like that's the driving force right now for them in region play when you go back and look. We touched on it right before the half, 76 points for Montgomery Catholic to 0 for the region opponents. It's almost like that's the driving force, like they're sending a message to the rest of the region right now through these first 2 games.
Next week, Catholic will be on the road. They go just down the Vaughn Road here over towards Carmichael, take on Trinity. Last week, Trinity was a victor over ACA. We had that game here on the Montgomery Sports Network, 24-12. ACA will head back home and face Dale County, and they'll be, unless there's a drastic change here in the second half, they'll definitely need to pick up that victory at home if they want to have any aspirations of returning to the playoffs for a 3rd consecutive season. So it's a tough region. It's a region where all 4 teams last year won their first playoff game. Even the ACA and Trinity went on the road as the 3 seed and the 4 seed and won their games. Ashford, we had ACA late last year. They beat Ashford to get in, sneak in there. Trinity had some big wins late. So this is a tough region, and these teams that come out of here are usually battle-tested.
And here's the caveat to ACA playing Dale County next week. Both of those going 0-2. Somebody can play their way out of playoff status early in the season.
Yeah, we're about to reach the midway point, week 5. It's up to the teams whether they have a jamboree or 5 games at this point coming into next week based on their schedule. And for Catholic, they'll have the bye week at the end of the season to kind of heal up any bumps and bruises they may have late before they head into the playoffs. ACA will be at home next week against Dale County. So a lot of football left to be played for both those teams, and a lot of opportunity for them to present themselves down the road for them to make some moves here into the postseason here in 2019. As we get ready to start the second half in just a moment, the teams have come out to the sidelines. ACA deferred the toss in the first half, so they will get the football to start the second half. Catholic ahead 28-0. Coach Blackwell, you mentioned it, Travis, in the first half, how hard the coaches were trying to, get them maybe to play to a standard here, have a shutout in the first half, not let up. I would expect to see the same here in these initial possessions in the third quarter for the Knights.
You expect to see it all the way through the game, even if the backups start getting in. You'll see these coaches, they're going to coach hard all the way through. Now the question is, what happens on that other sideline with Alabama Christian? How do they respond coming out of the locker room? Especially 2 weeks in a row. You come out last week against Trinity second half, put some points on the board. Can you do the same thing against Catholic? You don't like moral victories, but at this point when you're playing a region game and you know you've got Dale County next week, you've got to have something positive to take into that game.
And last week, ACA trailed Trinity 17-0. The Eagles were able to rally through the third quarter and early fourth quarter to make it a 17-12 game. And then Trinity had a long touchdown drive, a time-consuming touchdown drive to go up by 2 scores with about 4 minutes left and put that game out of reach. So we'll get right here to start this third quarter as the Eagles will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. And Russo heading out there to kick it off for the Knights to start this third quarter. Full moon, Friday the 13th.
Number 18, Damari.
So Harvest Moon night
for the Eagles.
Beautiful night here, not a cloud in the sky. As Catholic under the lights
Number
here
16,
had a
Michael
perfect
Russo,
first half, basically.
Something going on down here on the Catholic sideline there. All the coaches, top and bottom, working on their headsets. I don't know if they have headsets to start the second half, so this could be a different momentum change for ACA.
Moore back deep to receive for ACA. Russo kicks this one short. It's going to be returnable. Moore takes it at about his 5, straight up the middle of the field. Another nice return. Across the 30, driving those legs out towards the 35. And we've seen him have 2 nice returns tonight for the Eagles.
And you would say that maybe it's because there's a lot of backups on that kickoff coverage team for Catholic.
Number 21, Nathan Downs, and number 3.
But there's only 4 guys that come off the sideline, and those are the defensive linemen that come off the sideline on that kickoff team. So those are defensive starters for Montgomery Catholic. That ACA's being able to get a running start on those kickoff returns.
So Jalen Clark back out a quarterback for ACA. They'll empty the backfield again. 3 receivers to the near side of the field on this first play of the second half. 3-man front for the Knights. Clark's going to throw over here. It goes off the receiver's hands. It looked like Landers was the intended receiver. Goes incomplete. Looked like a little hitch route. They're trying to throw it downfield a little bit more than we saw in the first half to this point.
And that would have been a plus game for ACA. The receiver just didn't get his hands up in time to make the play. Good ball by Clark, though. He put it where only his guy could catch it.
So 2nd down and 10. As this time Landers will be in the backfield with Clark. Now he'll move to the right. 2 receivers to each side with that traditional spread look as Clark is going to run to the near side here. Fakes an option pitch. Nice move. Gets some positive yardage out to about the 38-yard line for about 4 yards on the play. Bring on 3rd down and somewhat manageable here for ACA.
And again, you don't like to beat a dead horse, but you just wonder how much that cast is inhibiting Clark a little bit. Every play he runs is to the right side. He hasn't taken anything left because he doesn't have that pitch hand. So how much is that really inhibiting this ACA offense right now?
3rd down and 6 at the 38. ACA will come out of the huddle. And again, Landers will be in the backfield for the Eagles. Clark claps his hands, looks left. Oh, he's swarmed under by this Knight defense and sacked for a loss in play. And they'll bring up 4th down in a punting situation.
Number 1,
and that's just repetition after repetition after repetition. It's 3rd and long. It's about 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. A passing down for ACA, so you know they're going to drop back to pass. So what does Catholic do? They bring the house on the blitz.
And Dudley making the initial contact for the Knights. 4th down, they're going to have to punt it. And Nathan Downs back deep, who had the big interception.
Nathan Downs back to receive the punt for the Knights.
At the end of the first half for Catholic, almost took it all the way as the clock expired.
Jalen Clark.
Clark back deep to punt. He's been very effective tonight punting the football. This one is going to angle again towards the near sideline. It's going to bounce, and that might have hit a Catholic player. ACA downs it, and they're going to just say it's down at about the 24. So that's a coaching point there for Coach Blackwell. You got a player running right around the football and just bouncing there.
But not just running around the football. He goes and tries to block somebody where the football bounces. That's the biggest point of emphasis on a punt return. When the ball hits the ground, get away from it, especially if you're a blocker, because you don't know which direction it's going to bounce.
So 1st and 10, Knights on their initial possession here to start second half. 10-14 remaining 3rd quarter. And Ivy back out to run the show here for the Knights. And we got a flag, and that is going to be, I believe, a delay of game against Catholic, or is it 12 men on the field?
There's 12 on the field for ACA.
12 on the field on ACA.
And there's still 12 on the field for ACA.
Yeah, and nobody's motioned to the sideline.
There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, they're marching it off. So a 5-yard penalty against ACA.
Substitution infraction called against the Eagles.
And now the player will run off.
5 yards, so making it first
and 5 for the Knights on their own 29. Going to hand this off. Gibson straight up the middle, breaks his arm tackle. He's losing to the secondary as he crosses midfield. Finally dropped at the 45-yard line. That play's going to pick up 25 and a first down. It's a Parisi Speed School first down as we have an injured player for ACA behind the action.
And again, it's just that simple. He gets to the 3rd level on defense to Gibson. That 3rd level of the defense is a 1 DB. He's a safety. He actually dropped back that time to provide coverage over the top. You get by him, he has nobody but the end zone in front of him. So ACA made it a little bit of adjustment defensively, but they're still putting everybody in the box and leaving those 2 guys on the outside on an island.
DeAndre Sneed, the injured player for ACA, able to jog it off without any assistance. So it'll be 1st and 10 here in Eagle territory for the Knights. This time they're going to hand it off to Watley. He's trying the right side. Stutter steps, cuts out now. He's loose into the secondary. Still going down that sideline as he barrels his way in towards the ACA cheerleaders for another Parisi Speed School first down for the Knights.
And so what did Catholic do in the first half? They threw the ball down the football field. They ran that option on the outside, so they got ACA to go in now at halftime. And now they're playing the traditional two safety back with two DB, two corners. So now they have the running alley up the middle, and they're taking advantage of it.
Ball resting at the 29 of ACA. Gibson gets it right over right guard. Moves forward for a couple yards.
Darrell Gibson on the carry. Tackle made by number 4, Miller McCarthy.
Bringing up second down and about 8 for
Play fails to gain,
the Knights.
Bringing up second down and 9.
And the first step by ACA defensive backs are stepping back. The only man not getting blocked is that safety now who's dropped off 12 yards down off the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what Aubrey Blackwell and the Knights want. They've got ACA to adjust. Now ACA's got to adjust back. Do we give up the pass and put 9 in the box again, or do we stay where we're at and just keep getting gassed up the middle?
Second and 8. They're going to run the option to the near side. Ivy escapes one man. He's loose, has some green grass in front of him. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown for the senior quarterback, Christian Ivy, from 28 yards, and Catholic's in front 34-0.
That's what happens when you spread them out. You start spreading them out, get those guys out of the box. You got huge running alleys, and that's exactly what Catholic's done now.
Christian Ivy with the second touchdown of the night, and that's going to put him over the century mark here, rushing the football. As Catholic leads at 34-0.
Number 12.
And in to attack the extra point with Papanastis
Number 11, Christian Ivy.
for Catholic. Ivy also the holder for Catholic. Snap and spot are good. Kick is also good, so 8.5 left third quarter, 35-0 in favor of Catholic. We'll take a timeout. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week.
The ACA Eagles 0. Service.
Welcome back here to the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week on the Montgomery Sports Network. Catholic in front 35-0. We'll take a moment here to recognize that offensive line for the Knights. JaMichael Washington, Chase Little, Riley Swain, Michael Hodges, and Colby Zaleski clearing a lot of holes out there for Catholic as they put 229 on the ground in the first half, and they're approaching that 300-yard mark total for the game for rushing tonight. They have been in complete control from start to finish. Russo's kick is away. Moore is going to watch this one sail across the goal line and into the end zone again.
The kickoff is out of the end zone for a touchback.
So the Eagles will start out on their own 20-yard line once again.
And again, it's one of those things of ACA, you don't like moral victories, but you got to come up with something positive now to take into next week. This game's all but over. There's 20 minutes left, but still, that's a lot of time for Catholic to have the football. They can strike on one play.
So ACA, Jalen Clark will come out. 3 receivers to the near side has Farrington. There's a blocking back off to the right behind the right tackle. They're going to motion Hayes Hunt across the field now. He may have been just lined up wrong. Play clock's at 3. They're going to have to snap it. Clark gets the snap, looking here, in trouble. Goes across the middle here, and it goes off the hand of Landers. Would have been a nice catch. A good throw by Clark against his body. It goes incomplete, though.
Intended for number 25, Corey Landers.
Great play designed by ACA. They spread. They got Catholic to spread out a little bit defensively. That's a dangerous throw thrown against your body across the middle of the field. And then he leaves his receiver out there to dry, and his receiver absolutely got crushed on the play. Couple things, Catholic, lucky they didn't get a personal foul penalty because the ball was already gone. The receiver hadn't turned his head. The defender just went ahead and hit him. But then again, ACA had a chance to catch it. Catholic had a chance to intercept the football.
Second down, 3 receivers to the far side. Landers in the backfield. He'll move off to the left now. And there's a whistle before the snap. It looks like it's going to be a legal procedure against ACA. And that is the call, so they'll march it back 5 yards. Bring up second down and 15 for the Eagles. So the whistle back in, clock moving now, 8:20 and counting here in the third quarter. And it's been all Catholic from start to finish. Clark fakes the hand off the Landers, and there is nothing happening there. The Catholic defense just all over that time. Dan Owens on the tackle for Catholic, along with Patrick Ryan, who we highlighted in the pregame show. It's third down and long.
The common thing for Alabama Christian's offense, that yard marker keeps moving the wrong way. They had 1 first down in the first half, still struggling to even get another one here in the second half. They've got to get at least 1 first down in the second half just to get something positive. You never know what could happen after that.
So 3rd and 17 officially. 2 receivers each side. Clark comes this side. He's going to tuck it. Moves across the 20. Picks up a nice run there. Or check that, across the 16, down to the 17. But it's going to be 4th down, another punting situation for ACA.
And it seems like we've said the same thing for 3 out of the 4 weeks with different teams. Tallahassee needed a first down, needed to get their quarterback some confidence. They didn't. They tried to give him a little bit. They're struggling. PCA needed to do something offensively, get the ball moving. They're struggling now. ACA doing the same thing. They're struggling. So the common theme is if you can't get a first down and get something positive on at least 1 drive, 2 drives, things just go downhill and unravel quickly.
T. Watley back deep at midfield. High snap. Clark has to go off the side of his foot out of bounds. It's going to be marked at the 25-yard line. Ends up being about a 8-9 yard punt.
Out of bounds.
So Catholic will start out.
Where the Knights will take over first and 10.
Excellent field position once again as Ivy comes back out here with his first offense, it looks like. But again, let's highlight that offensive line. Washington, Little, Swain, Hodges, and Zaleski. They've just been opening up some huge holes tonight for Catholic.
And watch Little at left guard. Little has got at least 7-8 pancakes right now. And that's something that's gone unnoticed. Let's see if he can get another one on this
Big
play.
Number 71. Going to hand it off to Gibson.
And he misses his block right as I say something.
His play's not going to gain anything. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Alabama number 67.
So
Jackson,
we highlighted it there, but that's all right. But most of the night here, there's just been some huge gaping holes in the middle for this Catholic offense. This should be the final play unless we have a clock stoppage before the 6-minute heat timeout.
And for ACA, you really have to feel for Clark. Clark's a wide receiver turn quarterback. Plays in this game with a cast on his hand. You're asking him to run, you're asking him to pass, you're asking him to punt. That's a lot for one guy.
With basically essentially one arm, it looks like. Wadley gets the handoff this time. And nothing going as Farrington makes the tackle, but it was number 52, Preston Perry, that made the play and made him cut back towards the pursuit.
And they load again. They load in the box. They put 9 in the box again. They walk that safety up. So you're really playing with about 4 or 5 linebackers.
We'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
So 3rd and 10. And we should have had a heat time out there. We're down well under 6 minutes now, 5:35 and counting. As Catholic breaks the huddle. They got to get to about the 17-yard line for a first down. Carter goes in motion behind the play. Ivy's going to run the option. Pitches to Carter late. There's a flag on the play as ACA has this one bottled up.
DJ Carter on the carry. There's a flag
as
on the
Moore makes the tackle from his cornerback position, but it's going to look like holding against Catholic.
I don't know if it's going to be holding or illegal hands to the face because that ACA helmet came off and started rolling down the field. But ACA now has started to walk everybody into the box, and they've got everybody in there. So the option play now is not in the repertoire for Catholic. Now they may have to go over the top and try to spread that off that defense side again.
So we're still waiting for the official call from the head official. It says personal foul. Or he gave an
I don't know what he gave.
I don't know what that was, but he marked it off. He's marking off against Catholic now. The question is, does ACA want to take it, or do they want to play fourth down here.
They've already started marking the penalty out before he's even asked if they'll accept the penalty.
Coach Sanford, the play lost some yardage there. It would be fourth down, probably about 12. I don't know, based on the spot on the far side. Now they're going to mark it back, so it looks like ACA will take the down. Again, we still haven't had a heat timeout. 5:11 showing on the clock. A lot of confusion here at the moment. Now Coach Sanford's coming out and asking where the ball is going to be spotted. The spot here should be on the 29. So the last play lost about 3 yards on the run by Carter.
But here's the thing. So the yard marker's sitting at the 27, the official's at the 29. So he's going to mark off 15 from the 29 when he should mark it off from the 27.
Yes. Well,
and now they're going to put it down at the 29. So a 2-yard penalty, even though they declined the penalty.
All right, so fourth down. And it looks like Catholic will attempt the field goal. And Russo's going to attempt the kick.
Field goal.
This will be
the hold of number 11, Christian Ivy.
40. And now we got a stoppage. This is going to be the heat. No, they're trying to get the kicking ball. And we haven't had a heat timeout. I'm just going to be quiet about it because if we don't take it, that's fine with me.
So this will be a field goal.
Yeah. They're trying to get a kicking ball in there, and now checking the football. I don't have a deflate gate or Lane Kiffin wanted to deflate the footballs when he was USC on the kicks or overinflated them. But they finally agree we have a usable football according to the head official. So they're going to spot it. It looks like right at the 35. So this will be a 45-yard attempt for Russo. He lines it up. Play clock just whistled in, so he has plenty of time here. Now they're going to move it back to the 46. He's going to retrace his steps. Play clock under 10 now. Snap and spot is good. Kick is up by Russo. And it is straight down the middle. Dead, solid, perfect. 3 more for Catholic on the 46-yard field goal by Michael Russo. It is 38-0 in favor of the Knights with 4:16 left. So we'll take a quick timeout. It's Catholic 38, ACA nothing. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
And welcome back here to the Exterminate Pest Control Game of the Week. Catholic in front, 38-0 over ACA. 4:16 left in the third quarter, and the man who just put 3 points on the board for the Knights, Russo, going to kick it off here. Moore back deep again for the Eagles. And Russo's kick. Moore's going to camp under just inside the 5. He's had a couple nice returns tonight. Again, this one breaks loose. One man made a nice tackle there as he got to about the 28-yard line. But for Catholic, the ability just to get to the 25-yard line and knowing they can put points on the board is such an effective weapon at this level as ACA has another player down. I couldn't quite get a number as the training staff comes out. So we're going to take a timeout. It's 38-0 in favor of Catholic. You're watching the Exterminate Pest Control Game of the Week.
Exterminate Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Exterminate family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Exterminate is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Exterminate 334-209-4590.
And welcome back here to the Montgomery Sports Network, where ACA has an injured player at the moment. Couldn't quite get a number as the training staff's out there. Might be a cramp. It's a very hot night. 100 degrees again here in Montgomery today. It'd be nice if this heat wave would break, but it looks like someone from medical staff from the ambulance in the far end zone is coming out at the moment. So that's not good. He's making a couple of the personnel making their way out here to the field with 4:09 left in the third quarter.
You never want to see this. You never want to see anybody stretcher, air splint, anything come out on the field at any point in time, just because of, one, it's high school athletics. Two, you don't know what the extent of the injury is. And you just hate to see that on both sides of the football.
So 4:09 left here. And I think he's gotten to his feet, so that's good. The medical staff is walking off. Still can't get a number.
It's like 18.
18, so that's Damari Moore, the man who returned the kickoff. He had the big interception there early in the game for ACA, which gave them some nice field position. He's had several big kickoff returns. He had a very good game last week against Trinity back on his home field. He's able to get help and make his way off the field, so that's good to see for the Eagles. So ACA will get the football here on about their own 28-yard line. We may have had a flag on the play. Looks like
I haven't seen a signal yet.
The head official looked like he just picked it up, which might have been on that pile, and that, yeah. It is a dead ball personal foul on Catholic. And it'll be a first down. That's a Parisi Speed School first down for the Eagles via the penalty.
So we couldn't see what happened on the play. Didn't really see the flag, so we don't know if the flag had any bearing on the play. But you hate to see that, especially for a kid that's had some good returns tonight for ACA. And now we talked about how we were feeling for Clark, about we felt sorry for him because he was having to do most of the duties. Now he's going to have to, because that was his back that he had in the backfield with him when he was able to get some swing passes.
So Damari Moore goes out. Clark stays a quarterback. Now we have now we're going to have another stoppage, and I'm not sure what this is about. The head official. We're taking the heat timeout now at 4:09 left in the third quarter. So we're going to take a break with them at the moment. Catholic in front, 38-0. We'll be back in just a moment.
Montgomery's best country is on Bama Country 98.9 WBAM. Bama Country with Bubba and Christy every weekday morning 5:30 to 10 a.m. We're gonna have a house party. Bama Country, playing today's best country and all the country legends. Bama Country 98.9 WBAM. Listen to Bama Country 98.9 WBAM.
And welcome back here. We just had the heat timeout of 4:09 left in the third quarter, but that's all right. So Catholic in front, 38-0. Next week on the Montgomery Sports Network, we'll move up to Elmore County, up Highway 111, as the Elmore County Panthers will head east to take on their longtime rival, the Holtville Bulldogs. And Holtville, a team that's really turned things around the last couple of years. They were actually ranked in the top 10 a few weeks ago before they lost their first region game.
They have. I'm looking forward to that trip to slap out Alabama to watch Hopeville play and see what they can do. Elmore County's been down a little bit, and Hopeville really needs a couple games here or there to turn things around on their end.
And Hopeville lost to Catholic here in the first round of the playoffs last season. They were the 3 seed out of their region, but it was the first time in a while they had made the playoffs, so they got things turned around in the right direction up there as ACA starts out 1st and 10 on his own 42. Farrington in motion, and now Clark's going to come out here on the play action. Throwing here, and a nice catch over here by Hayes Hunt on the near sideline. A nice throw by Clark, 15 yards, and a Parisi Speed School first down for the ACA Eagles.
And as soon as we say they need something positive, they get a first down penalty. They get a first down by a pass. So that's back-to-back first downs now for ACA. It's late in the game. You're down by 38, but you're still able to build on that as you move forward.
And I think this may be the first time they've crossed midfield tonight against this tough Catholic defense. As Landers in the backfield with Clark. Farrington comes in motion again. Landers gets it. Nice block from Farrington. And Landers is going to drive across the 40 down to about the 37 for 5 yards on first down. So another positive play for the Eagles.
And another positive play, and one thing they're doing is they're doing it against the first-team defense for Catholic. Those guys are still out there. They're rotating one or two guys in every now and then, but most of the time it's the one defense that's still out there for Catholic. So you're making strides against the best of the other team.
Second down, 5 from the 37. Farrington doing a nice job blocking there. He had a very big catch last week against Trinity from that slot position. And again, Landers works the left side. He drives forward, and depending on the spot, it'll be another first down. Maybe just a little short.
So we talked about the misdirection in the first half, how Clark would just run right, kind of jog right, and then turn and hand it off over the shoulder. That's a true misdirection. The running back takes a step right, cuts hard, and then goes back left, and Clark feeds it into his stomach. That's what we were talking about in the first half, about you have to sell that misdirection, and that's exactly what they did on that play.
3rd and 1 from the 33-yard line. As we're under 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Clark going to look to throw, has a man open over here. It is complete to number 11, Preston Hicks. And Hicks moves it forward across the 20 down to the 19 into the red zone on a Parisi Speed School first down for ACA.
And here's the thing about Clark. Clark's a wide receiver by trade, moved to that quarterback position. So as a quarterback, you're trained to know all the plays, but Clark has an advantage. He knows the routes. He knows where those receivers are supposed to be, so he can throw it to the spot, and the receiver's not there. That's on the receiver. So for Clark, it's not really a timing pass like you go back to the old Florida offenses where everything was timed. You throw it to a spot. He's throwing it where the receiver's supposed to be, and he's throwing it hard.
2 receivers to each side here on this first down play for the Eagles. Clark's going to look to put it up in the air again. He's under heavy pressure, and he is going to be sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Dudley making the big hit and dropping him way back there for a loss of about 12 on the play.
Good call by Catholic. That time, empty backfield. What do? That leaves 5 guys blocking. You bring 6, you bring 7. There's no way you can get a pass off that quick if you're not ready for the blitz, and they brought him from both sides, so nowhere to go.
So the play officially loses 10 back to the 30. 2nd and 20 for the Eagles as we have a minute 30 left here in this third quarter. Landers again has a lot of room into the second level, runs over the safety, still driving. He's inside the 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Landers takes a big hit, but it's going to be in for the touchdown for ACA.
Big hit, better play call, another misdirection. They sold it, everything went right. They went back left, right up the middle. Gashed Catholic's defense. Catholic did have some subs, but it doesn't matter because they sold the misdirection, which they were trying to do in the first half and unable to do so.
So a 30-yard touchdown run for Landers, and ACA is on the board. And it looks like Kobe Keel is on to do the kicking here for the Eagles. They had to get the kicking football in there. Threw another one out from the side. So Keel's back here. The holder is Hayes Hunt. And his kick is good. So our new score, 1:16 left, third quarter. It's Catholic 38, Alabama Christian 7. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Montgomery Sports Network. So Corey Landers gets Alabama Christian on the scoreboard for the first time tonight on the 30-yard touchdown run as that drive goes 60 yards, and ACA trails now 38-7. As Kobe Keel, the man who made the extra point, will do the kicking here for the Eagles. Looks like Watley and Gibson are back deep.
Orlando Watley and number 7, Daryl Gibson.
For the Knights.
Number 13, Kobe Keel on the kickoff.
Odds he kicks it to the corner away from those two speed burners back there.
He was able to put them in the end zone last week a couple times. And there's another nice kick sailing back. And they're going to take it at about the 2. Looks like it's Gibson. And he is swarmed under out about the 25-yard line where Catholic will start out.
One of the smallest guys on ACA's team, I think it was 29, busted that wall for Catholic. He just ran through, and you could hear the crowd go, ooh. That was him just busting through the wall, sending 2 Catholic guys back into the runner.
Knights will have it first and 10.
First down, it looks like Ivy. Check that. I don't know if I saw him out there or not. Let's see. I don't see Gibson out there. Watley's on the sideline here. Gibson's on the sideline. Miles Butler's on the sideline here. So Catholic making some substitutions. As I'm going to have to go into my roster here. That's a quarterback keep as Farrington makes a tackle. As number 4, Jordan Thomas keeps it himself, calls his own number on the first down play.
Might as well get another guy under center and see what he can do, especially with a game like this. If you need Ivy to come back, he'll come back, but there's really no reason for him to be out there at this point in the game.
So second down and 6 from the 29. As the quarterback is Jordan Thomas for Catholic.
You got guys.
We got a timeout taken by the Knights.
And then the referee throws a delay of game penalty even after the timeout.
Oh, gosh. We'll keep it right here for the moment.
So you're going to have to dig deep because you got offensive linemen sitting over here on the side. You got running backs, receivers,
timeout,
quarterbacks. So the only thing that I would say if I'm Coach Blackwell, my offensive guys, and now they're going to start walking that way. My offensive guys are down here on the ACA 40. The rest of the team, the ball is spotted at the 29-30. This is a teachable moment for them to teach these young guys and help them see things they may not be able to see because they haven't had a lot of game action.
And it looks like they're also getting a second group of defense for the most part ready over here on the far left, the Catholic coaching staff, as they are in control 38-7. As Jordan Thomas, backup quarterback, just a sophomore, 6'2", 187. Going to take this and hand it off here in some running room to the near side for the Knights. And a nice run for Catholic, number 28. E.J. Babies on the run. He's going to have a Parisi Speed School first down out to about the 40-yard line.
DeAndre Sneed.
So things just don't slow down. You put your second wave in there, which we talked about. Would be interesting to see if there was a drop-off in pregame between the first and second team. There's a slight drop-off, but you still don't lose a whole lot because 2 plays and a first down.
So first and 10 at the 40, their own 40 for Catholic. Thomas is going to hand this one off to the right side. Number 23, Cobb on the carry. Not much happening there.
Number 23, Jeremiah.
And that should take us to the end of the third quarter with the score. Montgomery Catholic 38, Alabama Christian 7. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
That's the end of the third quarter with your Catholic Knights leading 38-7.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe.
And welcome back to Week 4 here on the Montgomery Sports Network. Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. Catholic leading ACA 38-7. My name's Kane Young. I'm here with Travis Jerome as the Knights have been in complete control all night, facing 2nd and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Oh, the snap goes behind Thomas. It's loose in the backfield and scooped up by the Catholic running back coming to the near side here. A heady play by Catholic's running back. That was 23 Babies, able to scoop it up. And actually, he's going to make it back to the 35-yard line in terms of what should have been about a 25-yard loss into just a 5-yard loss.
5 yards.
That was a long run for 5 yards.
Tackle made by number
And -5 at that. So to bring up 3rd and 15. But that snap was just rifled over Thomas's head. We saw that a couple times last week in the Trinity and ACA game for each team, especially on the punts. Thomas is going to run option to the far side. He's looking to pitch it. All the ball's on the ground again late. And it looks like ACA has recovered the football. They pitched it late towards Babies. And it's recovered by ACA on the far side of the field. As the Eagles are going to get possession and recovering the fumble, number 52, Preston Perry. We called his name several times tonight.
And what does Catholic do right after they lose that possession? He brings his first-string defense back out. He doesn't want to go into next week having given up points on consecutive possessions. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that offense come back out for another series, especially if the defense can force a stop.
Yeah, it's 1st and 10 for ACA. The last thing they want is this game to be like 38-21, 38-24. So Catholic going to try to put a stop to it here right away. Landers in the backfield with Farrington, the blocking back. Clark still a quarterback for the Eagles. A little play action here. Clark rolls right, holding the football. Running out of real estate, throws it towards double coverage in the back of the end zone. It goes incomplete as he was looking over there on the far side for number 11, Preston Hicks. Bring up 2nd down and 10 for the ACA.
Great play that time by Clark. He threw where only his guy could get it, and his guy created space between the two defensive backs and had a chance to catch it. It was just maybe a yard too long.
So clock stopped, 11 minutes left exactly here in this 4th quarter. ACA trying to put back-to-back scoring possessions together. As this time they're going to go with empty it out here. 2 receivers each side. Farrington in the slot, but it's a blocking back. Landers comes in motions. They faked it to him. It's a screen over here. Complete. Hicks has some room inside the 20. Down close to a 1st down. I'll bring up 3rd down and short for ACA.
Good play call that time. Catholic brought heavy pressure on 2nd and long. You were anticipating it, especially on 2nd and long, 3rd and long. ACA guessed right, got the screen pass off.
So 3rd down and about 2.5 here for ACA. They got to get to the 15 of Catholic for a 1st down. 3 receivers to the far side, including Landers. Now Landers comes in motion. They fake it to him. Clark takes it, sidesteps one defender, is going to fall forward across the 15 for the 1st down. That's a Parisi Speed School 1st down for ACA as they're down to the 13-yard line. Bird on the tackle for Catholic.
1st down.
Clock running, but ACA is getting some positive yardage out of this. They got some positive yardage on their last drive, able to go down and score. They'll be able to build off of this as they go into next week against Dale County. This game's not over time-wise by any stretch of the imagination, but when you look at the scoreboard and you realize ACA's got to force turnovers on 3 possessions and go down and score, that's a tall task for anybody.
So 1st and 10 at the 14. Now we got a timeout taken by ACA, so we're going to take it with them. 9:41 left. Catholic in charge, 38-7. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590.
And welcome back to the Montgomery Sports Network. Exterminatech Pest Control game of the week. Catholic in front 38-7. Next week we will have Holtville hosting Elmore County. And then some other games down the road. We'll see Prattville visiting Wetumpka. Wetumpka also playing host to Stanhill Belmore. Opelika visiting Stanhill Belmore. We'll be back out here later in the year to see Catholic again. We'll also be out at St. James in week 11. So you can check out our complete schedule at mymgmsports.com. As ACA comes out of the timeout, 1st and 10 at about the 13-yard line. Play action again. Clark looks, throws, and it goes off his receiver's hands. Through. It was a little bit behind in that time. It goes incomplete to bring up 2nd down for ACA.
Play action and misdirection is going to work now because they've been able to get the ball out of Clark's hands and create some havoc with the passing game. Even though some of these passes have been incomplete, they've still been on target. And that creates a lot of eyes into the backfield. So you step up into the backfield, receiver open going over the middle.
And to go back to the point you made earlier about Travis, everything is to the right. Outside of the screen pass, which was really just a middle screen, everything here he's throwing is back towards the right side of the field. Clark throws this time complete. Landers has it out of the backfield. He's inside, down close to the goal line, down to the 1. That'll be another Parisi Speed School 1st down for ACA. 1st and goal situation.
Best part about right now is that breeze is starting to blow through. But no, it's, they're doing, ACA is starting to open up the playbook a little bit. They set some of these plays up. You'd have liked to have seen this earlier from ACA. They had opportunities in the second quarter to do this, but that Catholic defense was really, really stingy between the 20s.
1st and goal at the 1. Clark this time, going to take it. Oh, tries to sidestep, and he is dropped well behind the line of scrimmage that time. The Catholic defense stepping up. That was number 25 making the play for Catholic, Scooter Robinson.
Cardinal sin of a quarterback, you never go outside of your blockers. Once you get outside of your blockers, and it's you and 2 defenders, 9 times out of 10 you're not going to win that battle, and that's exactly what happened to Clark.
So that play loses 6. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 7. They're going to empty the backfield here. Farrington way out here to the 3rd receiver to the left side. Landers off in the slot on the right. Clark's going to look, has Farrington there. Farrington makes the catch, and he's in for the score. So nice touchdown pass, nice recognition by Clark to find Farrington in the middle of the field, and the Eagles are back on the scoreboard again.
Onside kick maybe when you come out of your ACA, you've gone down your last 2 drives, you've scored. Why not try something, see what happens. If you come out and you get an onside kick, you got a chance to cut it even further, and there's a lot of time left in the football game if you do that.
8:26 remaining. Kobe Keel on to attempt the extra point for ACA. Oh, Keel's kick is blocked. So the ball will be dead there. It cannot be advanced like in college football, but ACA does get the touchdown. It's now 38-13 with 8:26 remaining. So 2 nice possessions by ACA back-to-back here.
Great possessions by ACA. Great play calling. They've opened the playbook up. They've gone left with their pass, and they've gone a few misdirection plays, a couple quarterback draws. But the big thing is all that is opened up because the passing game. No matter if you connect on the pass or not, the threat is always there. If as a defensive coordinator, you see a receiver come open, ball gets overthrown by a yard or 2, that threat's always there. So those eyes on those DBs are going to go to the backfield. What happens then? You're able to go over the top. And once you start going over the top, they start backpedaling off the line of scrimmage. That running game opens. Here's the big thing. If ACA decides to go for an onside kick here, recovers, they've got a chance to cut it to as little as 17 with a touchdown 2-point play. It's a brand new ball game if you can force a 3 and out or force a turnover after that.
So 8:26 left. ACA able to move pretty quickly there and get the points on the board after the turnover, which was Catholic's 2nd turnover of the night. And Keel will kick it off for the Eagles. They're going to kick it deep. And taking deep over there, I believe it's Gibson. Check that, it's Watley. Watley trying to break loose, he does. Has a lot of green grass in front of him. Will he cut it back? There's a flag on behind the play. Way back, this is going to come back. It's going to be a block in the back. So even though Everybody's going crazy here on a touchdown for Watley. There's a flag way back at the Catholic 40-yard line. And what's really a shame is that block was about 20 yards behind the play. Watley was well into ACA territory.
But again, as you're down by 25, you got a chance. Okay, I'm going to go for an onside kick. You don't like to second-guess calls, but you've got a chance to get an onside kick. If you don't recover it, you got them here for a 3-and-out instead of kicking it deep and hoping you can get a 3-and-out, because when you back a team up to their own 10, 15-yard line, playbook expands. You've got a lot of things you can do, and you may not necessarily get a 3-and-out. Here, the playbook shrinks a little bit because it's a shortened field. And you know this, the hardest play in football is on a short field because there's just not a lot of room to maneuver. But as far as that play, the block was well behind the line of scrimmage, and Watley was well past the play, and that's when he made his initial cut. And realistically, it's one of those as an official, you put your hand on the flag, but then you think about it, okay, it's not really going to affect the play. I'm just going to put my hand down.
Yeah. So it's 1st and 10 after they mark it off way back at the 31 for the Knights, as we see Ivy and that first offense back on the field now. As you called it a few minutes ago, there's a handoff. It's going to be Gibson trying the left side, breaks through, sidesteps the defender, still loose across midfield. Got to take it all the way. Nothing but green grass in front. And a touchdown for Gibson. 59, so check out 69 yards.
No flags on the play, so what does Gibson do? He takes up for his running mate who has a kickoff return call back, makes the same move almost in the same place, cuts back and goes down the length of the football field.
So Catholic answers one play for the score after the penalty on the kickoff return. And that is Gibson's third touchdown of the night. Papanassus on to attempt the extra point here for the Knights. Low snap. Ivy is able to get it spotted, though. And Papanassus' kick is good. So our new score is 7:50 left.
With 7 minutes and 50 seconds to go.
Catholic 45, ACA 13. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
45-13.
Excuse me. And we're back here as Catholic leads at 45-13 over ACA. A long 69-yard touchdown run by Gibson, his third of the night. And Catholic trying to reestablish some control of this game after ACA was able to put the back-to-back scores onto the board.
Number 18, Damari Moore back to
Russo's going to kick it off. Damari Moore back to receive for ACA. Good to see him back in the game as he had trouble getting off the field earlier after an injury. Russo's kick. Moore standing back at the 1. Oh, he dropped it. He's in trouble now at the 5, but it may open up for him as he cuts it across and almost was able to break it across the 25-yard line. So not a bad job after recovering his fumble.
Aubrey Blackwell's got his headset off on this Catholic sideline after that last touchdown. First thing he does is he looks towards his coaches after that kickoff return and shakes his head. He's not happy about his special teams right now. And nor should he be. He's given up 3 big returns, and that one's a big return after the fumble.
So 1st and 10 at the 25 for the Eagles. Looks like Jalen Clark going to stay in there, quarterback for ACA number 1. Has done a nice job with some throws here in the second half, much like he did last week against Trinity. They're going to empty it. Landers goes in motion. They fake the handoff to him. Now they're going to throw a screen to Landers. Landers comes across the 25 for some positive yardage. Not much there. Gets a couple yards out to about the 27 and bring up second down.
And that's almost a play where you run the fake handoff and you go right back to him on the screenplay. You would think if they've got Catholic running that way defensively, you'd fake the handoff and come back with a screen the other way. You just threw where everybody was going. Not sure that was by design or if it was supposed to be a pop pass to Landers as he came across on that jet sweep.
So 2nd and 8 at the 27. This time they'll bring 3 receivers to the near side here of the formation for ACA. And there's a whistle, so dead ball here before the snap. It should be a procedure penalty, and it is on ACA.
Illegal procedure called against the Eagles.
So they'll march it back 5 yards. So 2nd and 13 as we're under 7 minutes to play in this contest.
13.
Clock runs again as we're down to 6:45. Again, trips to the near side here. Landers in the backfield with Clark. And Clark's going to throw over here, and it goes off the hands. Had an open receiver, Preston Hicks, unable to come up with the football.
Preston Hicks.
And they'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Bring up 3rd down and 13.
That time Hicks had his hands on the football, just couldn't come up with it. He had a lot of room there if he could have made a catch and turned around or ran with it.
Clark just threw that ball a little high that time. If he throws it right at his numbers, he might pick up a 1st down on the play. Clock continues to run. Clock's just going to drag right now because both teams are starting, not both teams, now ACA is starting to throw the football and a lot of incompletions.
Again, same formation, 3 receivers to this near side. Clark has some time going deep here, looking for Hicks, and Hicks unable to come up with the football.
Passes in for number 11.
They'll bring up 4th down.
Incomplete. We'll bring up 4th down and 13.
And should be, I would assume, be a punting situation, but let's see.
And Hicks had his 2 men beat that time. Clark did the right thing, went ahead and threw it up and let Hicks run under it. Hicks just ran out of gas on the play, but great play call from ACA, great execution all the way around. Clark threw the ball well before Hicks, gave Hicks about a 15-yard running start, and then just laid it up, and Hicks just ran out of gas trying to get to the football.
So 4th down, Clark's going to punt it, and Nathan Downs just across midfield back to receive. And Clark, another very poor kick. Going to be a net of maybe 10 yards, if that. Catholic's going to get it on about the ACA 31-yard line with 6:23 remaining.
Punt goes out of bounds.
And the officials are going to take the heat timeout, so we're going to take it with them. 6:15 left is now officially. It's Catholic 45, ACA 13. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Knights want to thank our.
If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
And welcome back here. Catholic in front, 45-13. As we're approaching the halfway point of the 4th quarter, the Knights have led this game from start. Jumping out 14-0, then 28-0 at the half. And then putting 10 points on the board in the 3rd quarter. ACA able to answer 2 quick scores to make it 38-13. And then we saw Gibson take it the distance from 69 yards out for a 45-13 score as Jordan Thomas, a quarterback, and the snap gets over his head again. And the ACA defense is able to corral them for a loss.
McCarthy on the stop.
McCarthy on the tackle for ACA. Bring up 2nd down and about 14.
That's just one of those fortunate bounces that goes over his head. His running back just happens to be standing behind him. What could have been a disastrous play for Catholic ends up in a big loss, but they still got the football.
2nd down. Clock moving now, 5:45, and racing away here as Thomas again will try to get the snap this time, call the signals. Another high snap. He's able to get it, but there's a lot of confusion in the backfield there. And the ACA defense all over it. Again, McCarthy in there on the tackle for ACA. Bring up third down. And about 20 here for Catholic as they're going in the wrong direction.
Miller McCarthy.
A lot of confusion in the backfield right now. Some of it's because of the high snap, but you got a lot of young guys now in the backfield. And it just looks like confusion. You got guys running to the same spot to try to get the handoff.
And again, Thomas has to leap for it. He's able to get the option pitch out here. There's some room here to the near side. There's a nice run that time by Jeremiah Cobb. Still going. They're going to mark him down at the 20, but he's going to have a 20-yard gain and a first down. Remarkably, after the high snap. So it'll be first and 10 for Catholic at the ACA 20-yard line.
And they're yelling at whoever the new center is on this to make sure he gets the snap. I mean, there's no telling how far that play goes if it's a good snap. Thomas just luckily got a hand on it and pitched it. He's able to pitch it. ACA got caught way out of position on the near side.
So Babies and Cobb in the backfield with Thomas. Another high snap. Babies gets this one, tries the left side. And the ACA defense is able to stop him after a short gain of about 2.
ACA saw something they liked on that play. They rotated another defensive tackle over and overloaded that side right before the snap. So they picked up on something that Catholic's doing with these backup running backs in the backfield, and they picked that play perfect.
So Babies officially gained 1 on the play, so bring up 2nd and 9, under 4 to play now. As Cobb is on the left and Babies on the right of Thomas. This time Cobb's going to get it. Try the right side. Breaks the tackle. He's loose. He's going to take it into the end zone for the 19-yard touchdown run for Jeremiah Cobb. It is now 51-13 as ACA has a player down on the field behind the action. Have to see what that is here as the training staff from Catholic comes out here to help out. But a nice run by Cobb. He able to get to the second level and make a man miss.
And he broke 3 tackles at the line of scrimmage.
So we got an injured player. We're going to take a quick time out here. It's Catholic in front, 51-13. We'll be back in just a moment.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was reelected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
And the injured player for ACA, Avery Stewart, still being attended to. He's up on one knee. As both teams taking a knee here. And he's able to get up and walk off on his own power there and gets a nice round of applause from both sides of the stadium. As it was the last play, Jeremiah Cobb was able to race 19 yards for the touchdown for Montgomery Catholic. And Russo will be on to attempt the extra point for the Knights.
Michael Russo on to attempt the extra point.
And Christian Ivy, the holder for Catholic. Good snap and spot. Kicks up. And it's good. So our new score, we'll keep it right here. Catholic in front, 52-13. As Coach Blackwell obviously has to be happy that his offense, even despite the issues with the snap with the second group, able to manufacture some points there.
And he has to be. The only concern he probably has is he knows this is his future that's in the backfield right now because all those guys are seniors. But at the same time, you're able to go down and put points on the board, even if you do have some bad snaps, even if you do fumble some things around. Things to teach, things to grow on if you're those younger guys. If you're the older guys, it's things you go in and you say, you pull the younger guys inside in the meetings and just, try to help them correct what they're doing wrong. It's not that as players you're going in as coaches, but as older players that have been in the system now, new offense, you've run it for almost 3.5 games. You know the caveats and the ins and outs to it. You just got to teach these young guys because eventually these young guys are going to have to play, especially if it's a next man up situation.
So looks like Papanastis is going to kick this one off. Moore standing exactly on the goal line. It's a low kick. Going to hit at the 10, gets past Moore. He's going to have to pick it up at the 4. And this time, unable to break the out past the 20, going to be dropped back at the 12. And that's where ACA will set up shop.
And that play was just set to be doomed from the start. He tried to get a hand on it as it bounced by and then tried to pick it up through his legs. And while he was doing that, looked up at the guys coming down the field, had no idea where to go when he picked it up. So now ACA is deep in their territory. They've had short fields, not really a short field on the first drive they scored, a lot shorter than what they've got right now.
So they start out on their own 12. And Jalen Clark will stay back there, quarterback, along with Landers, the running back. Landers going to get it and go straight up the middle. Not much happening there.
Landers on the carry.
Bring up second down.
Tackle made by number 66, Caleb Hobson.
Just a straight old school dive play. Excuse me. They pulled the guard.
Second down and 10.
Catholic just had too much on that side, and they've got some of their starters back in on defense. I think they have their whole starting unit out there on defense now. I think they're done trying to give up points and want to go ahead and get this game over.
So second and 10. Clock moves under 3 minutes now. This time is hand off to Landers again. And not much happening there. Look like Marcus D's on the stop for Catholic.
Number 25,
breaking third down as the clock continues to run here. It looks like ACA is just trying to run out the clock a little bit, keep this game moving at this point.
Looks like they're trying to get the clock moving, get off the field without any more injuries. You have a lot of guys that have gone down tonight. Don't know the extent. Good to see a couple of them return, though, after they were hurt. But it's one of those things as an offense, you've got another region game, probably the biggest region game on your schedule next week. You want to try to go in there as healthy as possible.
ACA will be at home against Dale County. Catholic will make the short drive over to Carmichael Road to take on Trinity. As Class 4A Region 2 action will continue next week. When this ball is snapped, we'll be under 2 minutes left. Clark takes it himself. Going to break loose into the second level. He's going to have the first down out to the 25-yard line. So a nice run for the senior quarterback. And he's going to be able to move the sticks. It's the Precy Speed School first down for ACA.
So you go dive, you go misdirection, then you fake the handoff, and it's a straight quarterback draw up the middle. So those first two plays were set up perfectly for that last play to pick up the first down.
So clock continues to move. A minute and a half left in this contest. Catholic in complete control from start to finish, leading 52-13. Clark's going to fake the handoff to Landers. Cuts back across the middle. Picks up 4, maybe 5 out to the 30.
Tackle made by number 6, T.J. Dudley.
Dudley on the tackle for
play gains 5
Catholic.
yards. We'll bring up
something Clark has done the second half, and you could really see it on that last play as compared to what he did in the first half. He's letting his blockers sit. He's letting his blockers get where they need to be. He's putting his hand on their back, making sure he stays behind them, making sure they get their block so he can pick up positive yardage. First half, he was blowing by his blockers, and all the defenders from Catholic were sitting there waiting on him.
Second down and 5. This could be our last play of the game here. Landers lines up behind Clark. And he's going to race for a first down. He's loose into the secondary. Runs over a defender, crosses midfield at 47. So a nice run of 23 yards for Landers, and it's a first down at Parisi Speed School, first down for ACA.
Straight, simple, just a handoff from the spread. Clark read it, fed his running back, put it in his belly, let him take it.
So they don't have to snap the ball again if they don't want to. We're under 30 seconds to play. As ACA breaks the huddle, though. They maybe get one more snap. Game clock now down to 10 seconds and moving. Landers gets it. Nothing happening there. He's dropped, and that'll take us to triple zeros, where our final score tonight, Montgomery Catholic moves to 4-0, stays undefeated with a 52-13 victory over Alabama Christian Academy here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. We're going to take a quick time out, get a word from our sponsors, and come back here and wrap things up. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company, and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590.
And our final score once again here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. Montgomery Catholic, impressive of that lofty number 4 ranking in Class 4A with a 52-13 victory. Their 4th straight victory over ACA, their 4th victory on the year, the 4-0. And right now, Coach Blackwell and company have things rolling here at Montgomery Catholic.
They really do. You look at each week, they took advantage. They had a brand new offense week 1, able to roll past Tallahassee. Week 2, they go in and face a bigger classification team, which they should be in Anniston. Beat them by a point on their home field. Last week they just run through Dale County. Today they just, from start to finish, dominate ACA. They've got everything clicking right now. Trinity's going to have their hands full next week with Montgomery Catholic.
And Ivy impressive as quarterback. Gibson running the back. This defense, running back scored 3 touchdowns. This defense didn't surrender a point until late in the game. So they, with an impressive victory, 52-13, we go to 2-0 in region, our Class 4A Region 2 action. So we'll take a moment to thank our sponsors once again. We thank our title sponsor this year again on the Montgomery Sports Network, Extermatech Pest Control, locally owned and operated. If you have bugs bugging you, call Extermatech Pest Control. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Call 334-209-4590. Attorney Matt Matthews of ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com. Workers' compensation attorney Matt Matthews has many years of experience litigating workers' compensation cases. If you're hurt on the job, he can help you and get the benefits you deserve. Visit ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com or call 334-721-4878. Mission Fitness and Performance, Parisi Speed School, Montgomery, athletes and coaching staff. If you want your team to train with the best sports performance program in the area, talk to Mission Fitness and Performance, home of the only Parisi Speed School in Alabama. Call Mission Fitness and Performance at 334-318-3639 or visit missionfit.com. The Hank Williams Museum, 6,000 square foot museum located at 118 Commerce Street. You can take a step back in time and learn about the life and history of the man from Montgomery known as Hank Williams. Browse large gift shop. Groups are always welcomed at the Hank Williams Museum. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs is celebrating their 102nd year in business in the capital city, 138 Dexter Avenue. Visit Chris's Hot Dogs. They cater. You can taste the tradition there. Call your orders in advance at Chris's at 334-265-6850. And here's Travis with the rest of our sponsors.
Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks is a locally owned and operated business. They've been in business since 1985 and serve Montgomery and the surrounding counties. Mid-State builds and installs burglar bars, AC guards, hand railings, fencing, storm doors, and more. Make sure to check out the decorative handrails, a true work of art. Call Mid-State 334-313-9015. Lozona Rosa Mexican Cafe, located at 2838 Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery. One of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. Check out their great build-your-own lunch and dinner selections and updated menus. Make Lozona Rosa your choice for authentic Tex-Mex and Salvadorian cuisine. Open Monday through Saturday. Call 334-274-1153. Delta Printing and Sign Company. Delta Printing and Sign Company opened in 1979 and still local and family-owned. As a second-generation business, they've stayed true to their roots. They get to know their customers and take pride in helping meet their printing needs and stay within their budget. Their goal is the same now as it was when they first opened, to provide a quality product at a competitive price, a company with exceptional customer service. So remember, no matter what it is, when you need signs, printing, direct mail, let Delta do it. Call 334-271-COPY. And our media partner, the stations of Blue Water Broadcasting, News Talk 93.1, KISS FM, 97.9 Jams, Bama Country 98.9, Yo 100.5, Classic Country The Possum, 104.9 The Gump, and 107.1 The Vault. They're local folks helping local businesses. Call them today and let them help your business. 334-244-0961.
And our last sponsor, we thank Mac the Camera Guy Photo Booths, MacTheCameraGuy.com. Visit him for all your photo booth needs for corporate rates or weddings, proms, photo booths, birthdays are available. Photo booths are available for birthdays, all kinds of items at MacTheCameraGuy.com. So we'll wrap things up here. Next week we'll be in Holtville, where the Bulldogs will play host to their longtime rivals at Elmore County. So we'll be out there for Week 5 next week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. So once again, our final score tonight, Montgomery Catholic 52, Alabama Christian 13. Our executive producer is Stephanie House. Our director is Tommy House. Our technical director and replay operator is Mr. Ron Simpson. On camera, we have Nathaniel McCall. And in the broadcast booth, my name is Kane Young. And along with Travis Jerome, we thank you for watching tonight. We're once again our final score, Catholic 52, ACA 13. Make sure you tune into our social media channels for highlights from tonight's game. Good night, everyone.